Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. I'm so sorry. We had to test the microphone. Can you all hear me? Are we on? You are early. Hello, hello, pretty queen or king. Yes, we're early. Okay, so I am on at 12 as per usual. Type your ones and twos chat. We are just looking for some debates. Ones in the chat if trans women are not women. Two if they are. If you disagree with the prompt. If you disagree that trans women are perpetuating rape culture and are sexist, go ahead and request the box. We are just looking for some debates. They're in the comments. I'm just waiting for them. I'm waiting for one of them. These men have the balls to go into women's restrooms, but they don't have the balls to request the box. So maybe I don't know. They have a lot of testicular fortitude, but not when it's time to defend their opinions. It's only when they have they go in there. Yeah, I dare you to stop me. Did y'all see that video? Big old brick. He said, I dare you to stop me from using the women's restroom. Hey. Huh. Anyways, can I get your age, please, guest?
My birthday.
This how old you are?
22.
22. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do you think trans women are women?
I actually wanted to ask you a question, if that's all right.
No, I want you to answer my question first, and then you can ask a question. Do you think trans women are women?
No.
No. Okay. What's your question?
So, I've seen your lives for I've been a part of your lives for a while now. I've been watching, and I wanted to ask if you can expand on gynecoric.
Well, that's not my topic, though, love. I'm looking for opposition.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I just wanted to, because, I was watching one of your lives, and so you brought up something called gynecoric. And
you can look up the definition of gynecorism. It's not. It didn't just come from me. It's on the internet.
Yeah, no. I just think if you could give me some advice on how to
Okay, all right.
Argue against.
It's okay. It's all right. All right, quickly. Gynecorism simply means that the species are born one sex or the other, meaning either male or female, and over the course of their lifetime, their sex does not change. Simple. That's all it means. Right.
Thank you.
It. Okay. All right. That's it?
Yeah. Have a good day, bro.
All right. Can I get your age, please?
Oh, what's good? I didn't. 26.
Do you agree or disagree with the prompt?
How are they sexist to the culture? And what is the word censor? It is gray. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
How do they perpetuate that though?
Yeah, so for as far as sexism is concerned, if you're a trans woman and you think that your womanhood is attributed to stereotypical femininity, or gender roles or gender presentation, you are sexist because women are not defined by those things. So a person saying that they are a woman because of stereotypes associated with women is sexist. As far as the rape culture is concerned, I've explained this. If you're okay with trans women, or there are trans women out there who are not okay or do not disclose that they are men to their sexual partners, or that they're male to their sexual partners, that is also rape culture. It's called rape by deception.
But I've never met a trans woman who wouldn't disclose it to their partner though. That sounds like a weird hypothetical.
You've never met a trans woman who what?
Sorry, I'm sick. Excuse me?
You've never met a trans woman who what?
Lied about being trans. They didn't tell that it's usually first date.
Okay, the kudos to those trans women who tell, but there are trans women who don't, and there are trans women out there who think that it's okay not to do that, and that is wrong.
But wouldn't it be kind of
those are the trans women I'm addressing?
Would it be kind of like a racist, let's say race instead of trans, right? Wouldn't it be racist to say, well, one?
Why would a person need to disclose that they're black? You can see black.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, but do you get my analogy that one?
No.
But one trans person did that, and then you can't say it's all. You can't put all in the same basket.
I didn't say all. Does it say all trans women are doing that?
Now you say trans woman, but I mean it gives
right. So it's a given. It's already a given that I'm not talking about all trans women. I said that there are trans women out there who do. If it doesn't apply to those trans women, then it's fine. But there are trans women who do. I've come across trans women who have said that they do not disclose and don't believe they owe disclosure to anyone. That is perpetuating rape culture. If you engage with a person especially a straight man, and tell him that you're a woman when you're not one, and you sleep with him and he's unaware of that, he's unbeknownst to it, you have essayed that person. It is called grape by deception. And if
Yeah, I mean,
and if you're in support of that, you're an apologist for grape.
no,
Yes,
but
you
in
are.
that scenario, who wouldn't agree with your who wouldn't agree? Like
What?
That's now the scenario you gave. Like
There are
yeah, of
people out
course,
there. There are
that's
people
rape.
out there who disagree.
Genuinely,
Yes, sir. I had a
damn.
conversation with lots of them yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not in that kind of like what? But like you had a conversation with the trans person who said no, I don't.
I've
want
had
people."
I have had a conversation with a trans woman about a month ago who said that he had slept with around 10 to 15 men, and he
Whoa.
never told any of them that he was trans.
Whoa. Yeah, I think this isn't my domain to speak on, but you're doing the Lord's work. I
Okay.
You're doing the Lord's work.
All right, thank you for coming up. Appreciate you. All right.
Bye bye.
How do I drop people on this? It doesn't.
Yeah, I
let me-
don't know either. Just drop me.
No,
How
as
can
in
leave?
I can't do it from a mod account anymore. It only lets me do it from the
Wait,
creator.
should I just close TikTok?
So I got you. Can I get your age, please?
20.
Okay. Do you disagree with the prompt?
I do agree. I do disagree with the prompt because I'm sorry. What the hell is the issue? Y'all, like, especially gay men, like, y'all always got an issue with trans girls for no fucking
Who is
reason.
y'all?
Like,
What are you? He said y'all like he's not one of us. What do you mean y'all? Y'all? Who is you? Oh, you're not even throwing stones in a glass house. You're throwing boulders in a glass house, sir. Listen, let me just make something clear for all the people who keep coming up and saying this shit. Stop telling gay and bisexual men that we have to think a particular way because we are gay and bisexual. Y'all keep doing it to us, and it is very, very annoying. We don't have to think that men are women,
It's
and
not
we don't
about
have
that,
to
but
be
I'm sorry. We
okay
don't have
with.
to. We don't have to spread hate speech even more. Like, we're already a
Where
minority.
is
Why
the
are you
hate
spreading more
speech?
hate?
Where is the hate
You're
speech?
talking about. You're talking about trans women are sexist and perpetrate rape culture. Like, what the hell?
And that's true. That's not hate speech. It's true.
It's not true though.
It is. All right.
Where'd you get
Let's
this
break it
shit
down.
from?
Sorry, can you turn off Whitney Houston in the background or whatever the fuck that is? Turn it down.
I'm sorry. I'm in public and I just saw this and I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, can you
So
like walk away
have no control,
from
but
it because the
I'll
music.
go mute while you speak.
Okay, yeah, right. So, do you know what sexism is? We're gonna break down. I want y'all to actually get where I'm coming from, so I'm gonna break it down for you because y'all are fucking slow. Let me break it down for you. Do you know what sexism is?
Dude,
Okay, what is sexism?
sexism is the act of inherently judging a gender, or well, discriminating against a gender just because you disagree with it.
That's not the entire definition of sexism. So I'm gonna break it down for you further.
Okay, well, break it down.
Sexism, yeah, I will, yeah. Sexism refers to stereotyping, prejudice, antagonism, and or discrimination on the basis of sex. That's what sexism is, right? Now, when trans women stereotype women and they take on all the stereotypes associated with women and say they are women because of those stereotypes, there's your sexism. So any trans woman who says I'm a woman because my hair is long and I wear nails and I do it better than cis women, that's part of the sexism. That's what I'm talking about, right? That's the sexism I'm talking about.
That's fair, that's sexist, but you're generalizing. And generalizing
I'm not
never
generalizing.
fucking works out.
No, I'm
But
not.
it does- you are, though. You're
No,
talking about-
I said the trans women that do that are being sexist. That's what I said, and that is true. Thank you, Mainfuse.
Okay. But the title is misleading then.
It's not misleading. You all don't know how to read.
Women, you literally said the title says trans women are sexist.
Okay,
It doesn't
right.
say trans women who say certain things are sexist. It says trans women are
If it
sexist. Which
okay, sorry. If
is
I say to you,
generalizing.
hold on, stop. If I say to you, can you mute your mic? The background noise is very insane.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
If I say men grape women, for example, is it not imply that I'm only talking about the men that do, or do I have to say some men grape women?
No, it does, but well,
Right,
No, you should
so
still.
it's-
No. Stop. Then you should still say some men rape women.
I
Because the same
don't
way you
need
can
to.
say men-
I don't need to.
But then you can
You-
say the same thing that
I
women
don't.
rape men.
I don't
Rape goes
need.
both
I
ways.
don't. I
Rape-
don't need
no,
to.
This is
I don't need to. Y'all need to know how to
Girl,
read. What y'all do
Loki,
is y'all are
this
projecting.
shit is
No,
actually
you're
so ignorant.
projecting.
Oh,
You're project. It's so. All right, let me move on because you're slow. Type your ones and twos. This is a man. Hello.
Hello,
What did I say? Okay, sorry. How old are you?
Alex Consani is queen.
Can I get your age?
Yeah, 27.
Right. Do you think trans women? I could be wrong, y'all. I'm just playing around. Do you think trans women are
Maybe
women?
I can say you're sexist.
Do
Is
you
that
think
that?
trans women? Do you
Based on
think
your
trans women are?
stereotypes?
Do you think trans
You're
women are women?
stereotyping, babe? Are you sexist?
Am I?
You
I'm not
are.
sexist. No.
Yeah, you are.
How?
Because based on my,
Thank you, Tanja. Gotta get every Tanja Marie in time for the fireworks. Thank you. Love you, boo. Go ahead. You were
you
saying.
cannot call me a man.
Are you a man?
No.
Oh, well, I said you could. I said it could have been. I said you
No,
could
you
be.
said it's a man.
I said I think it's a man. I said it could be a man. What?
Well, you did.
Are you a trans woman?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, I was wrong. Okay. What now?
Yeah.
What now?
Apology. Apology.
Huh? Apollo who?
Apology accepted.
Where was the apology?
In the room.
In the room? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to address the prompt now?
Yeah, sure.
Right. So, do you think trans women are women?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what a woman is? Go ahead.
A
Thank you,
woman
butterfly.
is Alex Consani.
That would be an example, not a definition. Do you know the difference between examples and definitions?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, right. So you understand why that's not an answer, right? So if I ask you for a definition of a dog, you don't say my Shih Tzu is a dog. That's an example, not a definition. Can I get a definition of what a dog is?
Yes. Jules.
Oh, can I get a definition of the word woman?
Yeah.
You keep saying yeah, but you're not answering the question.
Jules.
That's an example, not a definition, sir, ma'am, aunt key.
So, maybe, let's see. Correct?
It is nigga just saying words. You're just saying words now.
No.
Are you?
I'm saying Jules.
Listen, I'm asking you for a definition of what a woman is. You keep giving examples of what you think are women. Can I get a definition?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. So give me one, of course.
What about Julia Roberts?
Those are all These are all examples, sir, ma'am.
Oh. Sir Ma'am. Should I call
Yeah,
you Sir
these
Ma'am
are
as well?
these are. You could do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not gonna start. You're misgendering me like y'all do. I'm not gonna do
You
that.
started
So
tweaking when somebody
you're
calls
not.
you a
You're not.
fag. So I
You're
don't
not
think
gonna. When somebody calls me a what?
a fag?
Oh, well, that's a slur. So I mean, of course I am.
Oh, so no slurs?
What? Have I said any slurs?
No.
Right.
it's
So
just-
then I don't know why are you using
I was
slurs
just
to me.
clearing the
And
air.
by the way, this is the accepting LGBTQIAPQISPWXYZ community. By the way, the accepting one. So they get to use the slurs when it doesn't suit them, right? Or when it suits them. Sorry.
I wasn't about to.
So there's the Wi-Fi password. Y'all get to be homophobic and transphobic, but when
You're not part of the Wi-Fi
when I
password?
say men can't be women, now it's a whole different thing. I'm a transphobe, right? So, anyways, yeah. Tell me what. Give me a definition of what a woman is. I'm not asking you for an example. I want a definition. That's what I'm asking you for.
Yes.
Yes is not an answer. Can I get a definition?
Okay. What was the question?
Yeah, this person has amnesia. I'm gonna ask you one more time. If you don't answer, we'll move on to somebody else. Can I get a definition of what a woman is, please?
Yes, of course.
Okay, give me the definition.
So, when we look at the society, you can see parts that are beautiful. So, I'm gonna get to the point.
Don't take 3 to 5 business days.
Don't worry, babes. So, yeah, when we think about society, there are parts that are beautiful. So,
I'm not saying anything. Go.
yeah, sure, of course. And then we have to continue elaborating on things, to start looking at the details. And before we know it, it's in front of us. The answers, the questions. So it's very important to pay attention to details and realize people are very present. And they have been ever since the beginning,
This is a Kamala Harris answer. Girl, it's you, Kamala Harris. What did you even just say? You need to be a politician. You should be on TikTok Live. You need to be a politician. Verbally evaded question. You didn't answer. Did we get a definition? I didn't get a definition.
Can we make this a little bit lighter? Let's joke a little bit.
I don't want to joke. This is a serious issue. People are being raped. You don't see it as sexism and rape culture. Sexism and rape culture are not jokes. I'm not joking about it. I'm laughing at you, not with you, right? So
I'm laughing as well, so we can laugh together.
What you can laugh at yourself. I don't really give a damn. If you have a self humiliation,
I made one person laugh, so that's good. I'm sure somebody else laughed as well.
Right, but the thing is, we're not laughing with you. We're laughing at you.
It's fine, and I'm fine with that.
No, but it's not though, because you're laughing about rape culture and sexism.
No, I'm not laughing about rape culture.
But you are, because that's what we're talking about. I want you to tell me what a woman is. You just said there are beautiful parts in society, and when we see answers in society, we see it. Well, I didn't know what you said.
Yeah. Let me recite.
No. We don't want you to recite. We want you to throw it away. Give me a new answer.
Society, we need to pay attention to details because there are beautiful things, and because of those details, people have been present ever since the beginning. And
how does this tell me what a woman is?
I'm getting to the point.
You said you were getting to there, girl. You walking from here to Antarctica with that point?
Of course.
No, we don't have Antarctica time.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Baby, we're talking to dumb people before.
Do you understand that you're making if you're the community you're defending look very stupid?
I'm not
I'm serious. Like if this is actually, if you're not trolling me right now, and this is exactly how you think, you're making the community that you're defending look batshit crazy.
Can I ask a question?
You haven't answered mine, but I mean, at this point, I'm probably going to get to the answer quicker than you, so go on right ahead.
I got 10 points.
That's a statement, love.
What is that?
Can I get your age, please?
Yeah, 26.
Right. Why you all sound like pick-me's?
What? That's sexist, honey.
What? That's sexist, honey. Proving my point. Anyways.
Okay, how? What's the argument for that? That your voice means you're a pick-me?
What's the argument for that, girl? Which Phil bro did you talk to last week?
Yeah, girl, you just don't have an argument.
What's the argument for that?
You just don't have an argument, girl. You're just being sexist.
What's the argument for that?
Gay men are sexist too.
Thank you, Elena. Can I get W, Elena? What's the argument for that? You will, girl.
Girl, I would not be talking with them big ass ears, and you put that
Put
scarf
it away,
behind your ear, girl.
Well, my ears
Stop
might be
putting
big.
that scarf behind your ears 'cause it's making them bigger.
husband's dick isn't
Will
though.
Smith's husband.
You talking about my ears, but your husband's dick isn't big.
Jaden Smith,
My ears are big, but your
calm
husband's
down now. Them cheekbones
Girl,
is crazy,
girl,
handsome
girl.
Squidward.
Calm
Okay,
down.
now, girl. That big
Calm down. Calm
Fit a
down.
dick between that gap, girl.
Calm down. The only people putting dicks between their gaps are trans women because they open their penises and leave a gap there, then they put a man of
Gay
another man's
men
penis there.
like you.
So, anyways, how old are you?
26.
26. Okay, more like 6 with the maturity. Yeah.
Right. While you're saying women are picking because of the way they talk.
Do you think? I'm just saying.
Okay, big head.
I'm just.
Them big ass.
I'm just saying you sound like a pick me. I'm not saying anything special. I'm just saying
you look confusing. The fuck? Like you don't even look like you're like together.
I look confusing.
It's a whole bunch of features just thrown together, girl.
Oh, but that's how a face works, isn't it?
Thank you, handsome Squidward. Next question.
What does the handsome? You think I'm handsome? Thank you.
Handsome Squidward. Sure.
Oh, handsome Squidward. When handsome Squidward mugs everybody, so I'll take that as a compliment. So
Sure.
Right. So anyways, you think trans women are women? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, so you're a traitor. Can we get traitor in chat for a traitor? Of course she's a traitor.
Can we get Gap in chat for the
I knew
traitor?
it. Oh, they'll type Gap in chat if I
Yeah,
tell them to, not if you. No, when I tell them to type it in chat, we can type it in chat, right? So why don't you go ahead and tell us what a woman is, Madam 26?
Yeah, adult human female.
Well, trans women are not female, so how exactly are they women?
Of are denoting the sex that produces large gametes. I'm not saying they're of that sex. I'm saying they're denoting or indicating that sex.
How do
when they
trans
transition.
women? How do trans women denote the capacity to produce large gametes?
Yeah, because once say, for example, my sister who is a trans woman, she
Your
has.
brother. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Can we all type
she
brother
has-
in chat? It's her brother.
Oh, chat, can we get brother? Send me money on Venmo. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Actually, just as you said it, could I get W Denisha in chat for the $45 on PayPal?
some
The
more
moment
money,
you said it,
please.
girl, you jinxing me. Can I get W Denisha in chat for the $45 on PayPal? Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
so
you.
just make your money, honey. We get it. We
So
get
yeah,
it.
I always make my money, and
Anyways.
the funny thing is, the more you complain about the money I make, the more they're going to send. You see, the moment you start talking about my money, people are going to go back to their TikTok
I hope
coins
they
and they're going to
do. Waste their
recharge and they're going to send more
money. I
money.
hope
So
they
don't
do.
don't
Waste
don't
your
complain
money.
about my money.
I love
All right,
it.
so
Waste
so
your
your
money.
so your so
I
your
don't care.
sister
Sister.
carry on your brother. What about him?
I'm gonna carry on. My sister, right?
Your brother,
As a trans woman, my sister, right?
A man, right?
She has DSDs that she was born with. I don't want to get into that. I understand there's
What's
two
the
different
name
concepts.
of the DSD? No, hold on. What's the name of the DSD?
Yeah, I just said I'm not going to get into.
Then why the fuck you bring it up then? Why'd you bring it up then?
I'm going to tell
Why'd you
you,
bring it
you're
up?
obnoxious.
Okay,
You act
all
like
right.
Dean,
Yeah, and you're a dumbass. So let me make it very clear.
like Dean Withers. You're
Y'all
obnoxious.
always tokenize intersex people and be like,
Yeah,
my brother was born with a DSD. You bring it up, and then the moment it's time to investigate it, you don't want to talk about it. That's very ironic. Very
Yeah, I can
convenient,
say I have
could say.
diabetes and not want to tell you everything about my diabetes.
Why would you tell me you have diabetes then, bitch?
It's privacy. That's why.
If it
Because
was
I can
private,
use, I can use my medical history.
if
in a
it was
conversation.
private, you wouldn't have told me.
Use my medical information.
If it
in
was
com-
private, you wouldn't have told
The
me.
one
Thank you,
thing that I
Danessa.
can.
Can I get W Danessa in chat for the fireworks? Thank you, Danessa. Why'd you tell me that?
Crash the fireworks. Send more money.
Why'd you bring it up? Can I get W Jeannie in chat? She sent $25 on PayPal. She said thanks for reminding. Tell her thanks for reminding
Like handsome
me. to
Squidward
send.
and Drake had a baby. Like, this big ass-
Can I get W Jeannie in chat? I appreciate you, love.
I think Drake is Jamaican too, isn't he?
So, huh?
Isn't Drake Jamaican or like?
Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of me.
Because those big ass eyebrows, I'm just wondering,
What?
is Drake your father or
But
like?
big ass eyebrow. You
Yes,
think
put
Jamaicans
the
have big?
put the camera on you, honey. Let's see those teeth and those ears and those
Isn't
eyes.
Drake? Isn't
honey.
Jake? Isn't he Canadian? You made that did not eat. You did not eat at all. Did these insults?
Jamaican, honey. Listen, clean out those big ass ears.
Drake is not Jamaican.
He is of Jamaican descent.
He's Canadian.
Canadian, but ethnically, he has Jamaican roots, honey.
Jamaican is a nationality.
Yes, ethnically, honey, not
You
nationality.
cannot be ethnically Jamaican because Jamaican
can,
is a.
honey.
No, you can't. It's a nationality.
So answer me this. If someone
You cannot be ethnically.
You're running,
You cannot
honey,
be. Can a person be ethnically? Can a
Honey,
person
you're
be
running.
ethnically Canadian? Canadian is also.
yes, culture wise, yes.
No, you can't. Canadian is not
Distinction
an.
between nationality and ethnicity.
Canadian is not an
distinction
ethnicity.
between nationality and
Canadian is an. Okay.
What's the distinction?
She's
Oh, you're
slow.
running?
We're gonna move on to somebody else. This girl is slow. Can I get your age, please?
Yeah, 25.
Right. Do you think trans women are women?
I think they can identify as women. Yeah, I mean, what is a
We
woman?
got a chaser! Chaser! Come and
No,
get
no, no,
guys.
no.
I need to
I'm
make a wait.
non-binary. I'm non-binary myself.
Oh
excuse
my
me.
god. Okay, you're a man. Anyways.
Yeah, sure.
Can we,
I present as a man, of course.
We're gonna have to wait, stop. Guys, we're gonna have to get what's it called?
Am I gonna
have to get
deny
a-
that I'm a man?
So you just did. You called yourself non-binary.
No. That's like the the pronoun issue, the social stuff. But how do I present? I'm obviously a man. I'm a male. I have a penis.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a man. You're not non-binary.
I'm a non-binary male.
You cannot be a
Yeah, of course.
non-binary,
my
but
pronouns.
non-binary, but in the binary.
What are your pronouns? Yeah, I'm in the binary, but my pronouns are.
Then you're not
non-binary.
non-binary. You can't see you're a non-binary male. Male is in the binary. Goofy.
Sex-wise, yeah, I'm in the binary. Socially, I'm
Okay.
not in the binary. Absolutely not.
The societal aspects are not binary, so that doesn't make any sense. Thank you,
Oh.
Raf. Can I get W Raf in chat?
Anyway, let's stick to topic.
Right. So you think trans women are women, really quickly?
I mean, they're not cis women, obviously not.
I didn't ask you to add an adjective to the noun woman. I asked you whether or not trans women are women. We don't call women cis in here, by the way. If you want to disrespect women and call them cis in a different space, you can go right ahead, but we're not doing it in here. All right. So there's women and there's trans women. Just to clarify the rules for this.
Yeah,
we're
the
not
trans
calling.
women.
We're not calling women cis in here. So are trans women women is the question.
They're trans women.
You're just repeating the word again. You can't say trans women or trans women. That's not describing anything. Are they women?
Are they women? It's not for me to say if they are something.
Sorry. Do you think that they are women?
Do I think that they're women? No, I just think that they're human beings who go through their own
Oh
experiences
my God.
with gender and
Are
social
they,
constructs.
I'm not debating their humanity. I'm asking you what they are. We already know trans people are human. That's a given. Are trans women women? Yes or no?
I don't know. It's not for me to say. I've met different trans women who
Then
say
why the
different
fuck
things.
are you here? Why
No,
are you
wait,
here?
hold up, Edna. Look. Like I've spoken to a trans woman recently who said that they are a man. So it really depends on how these people want to identify as.
I didn't ask you how they feel. How do you feel, sir?
I don't really have
What
an
do you
opinion on
think?
that. I'm here to engage with the prompt specifically.
All right, sure. What about the prompt do you disagree with? Because I don't know what else to say to you.
Well, yeah, it's okay. So first thing, are you okay? So on the topic of trans women, are you insinuating that they're sexist because they appropriate the woman identity? Like
They do appropriate it, and they attribute the identity to stereotypes, and they take on stereotypes associated with women to say that they are women. That is sexist.
but is that all trans women?
No, does it say all on the screen?
No. Okay. So
Okay.
who are you referring to exactly? The
The
majority or
trans
the
women,
minority?
the trans women that do.
The
Majority of trans women.
Okay.
Okay, let me clarify. Majority of trans women I've engaged with are sexist. They think womanhood equals femininity, and you have to be feminine, and you are hyper feminine at that, and you have to pass, and you have to have these particular characteristics to be a woman, which is all just sexism, and it excludes a lot of other women.
Okay,
right?
but wouldn't you
So-
say this is like a natural outcome of like how I guess like economy and culture has been progressing over time with individualism and like the
Actually,
desire
no.
to-
I would actually argue that trans people are perpetuating regressive ideology. They're not progressing society. I think that before this became mainstream, before this ideology became mainstream, people were actually starting to do away with gender stereotypes. Thank you, Breezy. Can I get a Breezy in chat with the fireworks? And thank you, Clerical Error. I appreciate you. People were actually starting to do away with gender stereotypes, and then trans people came and brought them right back. Trans people came back and started telling people that gender was a social construct, and started telling people that women and men are social identities defined by sociology, which was never ever true, right? So if you actually look back in history, people were trying to move away from gender stereotypes, and all trans people did and all gender ideology did was bring it right back and then tell women that men can be women if they take on those regressive stereotypes. So no, it's not the evolution. We're not progressing anywhere. The gender ideology regresses us. It doesn't progress anybody.
No, I mean evolution doesn't always have to be like a progressive thing, right? Like society progresses or evolves and people regress a lot. I can agree with that.
Well, it's not
Now-
even evolution, because evolution is gradual. There was nothing gradual about this. They just came and swooped in and
No,
changed
but
definitions.
humanity has been evolving, right? Like regardless of what's happening, we're still evolving every day.
Okay, right. And I think that if we're evolving backwards, it's not helping anybody.
Sure,
The best
we
form
evolved,
of evolution
we evolved
is.
backwards.
I think the
Yeah,
best. No, sorry, we should not be going backwards. Regressive evolution is not going to help us. I don't even think that
I
would be
agree.
evolution. That's just regression, right? And trans people are perpetuating regressive ideology or gender ideology. Let me not even say trans people, because not all trans people actually agree with gender ideology. Gender ideology perpetuates that regressive idea. It
Would you
promotes the
say-
idea.
And would you say this is like an internal or external thing mainly? Like what's the driving factor? And around what period of time were you referring to when you said that
I'm
trans people
refer-
brought these back?
Well, I would say hardcore trans radical activism started in the early 2000s. So I
Yeah.
would say from then, right?
From then, okay. What about like historically and other forms of identifying?
Well,
as
historically we always knew that trans women were men. That was never an issue. But now, so some trans people were calling them women, and then we bring back all the stereotypes from those historical time periods, all those gender roles that have been used to restrict women and restrict their ability to express how they would like, and then telling women that men can be women if they take on those stereotypes. That's where the regressivism is, right? So that's where the sexism is. right? Now, as far as grave culture is concerned, I'm going to ask you a very, very
Yeah.
simple question. Do you think trans women should disclose that they are trans before engaging in romantic or sexual relations with people? Yes or
Yeah,
no?
of course. I think people in
Right.
general should disclose, like,
Glad we can agree. So that's part of the grave culture. Contrary to your belief, there are trans women out there who believe that they don't have to disclose and they should not disclose to men.
I can agree
actually
with that.
and are actually okay sleeping with men and not telling them that they are trans. That's
I
wrong.
can agree with, absolutely. That's of course. Like, these things, I mean, just because you identify a certain way does not mean that it takes away from, I guess, like, how the rest of the world engages with your identity or who you are.
Right, which is what I'm saying. So that part we agree on. Now, I've explained the sexism. So what part do you now disagree with?
I don't know.
Thank you, Bastet.
I'm just trying to understand, like, okay, because again, as I said, like, I identify, or I go by he, they, right? Or essentially any pronoun. I don't really care. For me, like, the social identification doesn't really matter. It's more of a way
You
to
cannot go by,
identify
okay,
with.
stop. You cannot go by
Wait,
he,
wait.
they. You can, no, but you can't.
I can,
They, no, you can't because it's grammatically inaccurate. They is a plural pronoun.
It's
and
not
the
though.
only time
They can also
it-
refer to singular.
I was about to
Edna.
get to that. I was about to get to that. The only time you use the word they singularly is when you don't know the sex of the person you're talking about. So, for example, if a person left a bottle, let's say somebody left a bottle in a library, and I didn't know the sex of the person. I didn't know whether or not it was a man or a woman that left the bottle. I would go to the library.
She left the bottle.
No, I would no. You would say they. No, you would
Yeah,
say
yeah.
somebody left
I know, I
their
know.
bottle. Somebody
I know.
left their bottle in the library. Right. That's how you would say it. Right. You already acknowledge that you're a male, so we know what sex you are. So there's no reason to call you they, because the only time the singular they is used is when you don't know the gender or sex of the person you're talking about. You're a man. So we're not going to call
That's
you
fine.
this.
I'm not gonna get offended by that. Like, that's fine.
I'm trying to offend you. I'm literally saying the truth. I'm saying you're a man.
Yeah,
You're
that's okay. Of course. I mean,
Right, so it's-
what do I look like?
Right. I don't see what you look like, and I don't
I
really
look
care
like
what
a
you look
man.
like.
I look like a man.
I don't see what you look like, so and I don't really care. The point of
Yeah,
the fact of
pretty
the matter
cute, you
here,
should care.
the fact that the okay, well, maybe the people who want to date you, they can date your hairy ass. As I was saying, the
Yeah, carry on.
right,
Carry on, Edna.
the point being, you're a
Yeah, yeah.
male, and so there's no need to call you. There's no need to call you they because you're a male. The only time I would use they for you is if I didn't know what you were. We know what you are. You had said you were a male from the very beginning. So this whole he, they, she, they, if you go by she, there's already no need for there to be a they. Because you already know what you are.
But see, I think
There is no she, they. You either are she, her, or he, him, and that is based upon whether or not you are male or female. You're not
but
trying to overcomplicate shit.
don't you think language and culture progresses over time as well?
You're not progressing. You're literally changing grammatical rules.
But
the sake of your
who
identity.
invented grammatical rules, Edna?
Humans create grammatical rules. I
Right, and
agree.
humans can also do what after they create grammatical
They can
rules?
they can change it. However, the issue is you're not explaining why you're changing it. You're just saying I go by they, irrespective of the rule.
Me, okay, like, if you really want to dive deep into my personal thing, that's not what I'm here for. But I think it's just a way with engaging
I'm just highlighting
with society,
I'm just
right?
highlighting the issue. We don't have to break it down if we don't want to. But my main point here
We
is that
can. I don't mind. I'm very open.
my main issue here is that you. Let me ask you a question. Do you think trans women should access women's spaces? Yes or no?
Should trans women have access to women's spaces? I feel like if we can look, it's not as easy as just letting them in, right? I think bathrooms in general is such like a iffy thing because they should be secure and comfortable and safe for people. So I think if we could have because I've seen, like, in Sweden where I live at the moment, we do have gender neutral bathrooms, for example, where both men and women can enter and there's no issue. They can use the cubicles, they can use the sinks, and there's just like mixing in there. So something like that, where it's like a space, I guess, for maybe queer people or trans people in general, maybe a space for trans people. I'm not really stuck up on that per se. I don't think my opinion really matters. I just think that bathrooms should be safe, secure.
Well,
For
bathrooms
people in
are
general.
safe. Bathrooms are safe for women when there's no men in there. Thank you guys. Can I get a bit tangent in my end chat? Thank you guys. Right? Bathrooms are safe for women when men are not in there. Right? That's the point. So no men should be in that space. Right? That's
I mean, it
the
depends
point
on
I'm
the
trying to make.
Context, right? Because sometimes
And
you have parents.
There is no
No.
context where a man should be in the women's restroom. As far as parents are concerned. That's why we have family restrooms or single occupancy spaces. No man should bring a male or female child into the women's restroom. If he wants to stand at the door and let his child go in and maybe say to a woman who's going in, can you just watch her or just stand outside the stall while she's there? No man should be entering.
Sure. I mean, I don't really care about the bathrooms.
Well, I think you should, but that's part of the issue. Not caring about women and their single-sex
I'm
spaces
not
is
saying
also
that.
part of the. No, hold on.
That's not the point.
Allow me to finish. You are part of the issue. The issue here is that I keep talking to pro-trans people like yourself about these issues, and instead of actually caring about them, you guys say that you guys don't care, and then you wonder why I say people who support gender ideology and/or trans people are sexist. You guys don't actually care about women and their safety, and it's something that needs to be spoken about. The fact of the matter is, as a man, you should care about women's sex-based spaces. You should.
That's what I'm saying. I think bathrooms should be safe, secure, right?
And how do we achieve safety for women in single-sex spaces?
For me, by not advocating.
Keeping...
Listen. I don't advocate for anything specific when it comes to bathrooms. I'm fine with the status quo. I use the status quo. I don't enter women's bathrooms just because I identify as non-binary. It doesn't give me the entitlement to just fucking enter a space where women are, right? So in that sense, of course, right? But if women decide that, hey, this trans woman is welcome in our spaces, even in our bathrooms, who am I to tell these women, hey,
women cannot okay, now this is the other thing. Consent is not transferable. Women cannot consent for other women. No men should be in women's spaces. Women cannot consent for other women. No men are welcome. The space is only for women, right? So a woman cannot consent.
Again, but this is your societal perception, right?
No, but okay. Do you think consent is transferable? Can I consent
like
for you?
No. That's not what I'm saying, Edna. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about in certain societies, like in Sweden, for example. Okay, can I ask where you currently are? Are you in the U.S.?
I live in Jamaica. I'm in the U.S., but I'm not there now. No.
Have you been in Jamaica like your whole life, or?
For most of my life, yes.
Okay, because I've never been to the States or that part of the world or the Caribbean or anything, so I'm not entirely sure of how the culture is there. It's not going to be too different.
It's very simple in Jamaica. If you're a man, you go to the men's restroom. We don't do as a Jamaican would say. As a Jamaican would say, me don't do with that shit. That's what they would say. If I was having this conversation with a Jamaican who's not like me, who's actually listening to have the debate, most Jamaican people would say, "Where with that? Move." The Jamaican people don't care about this, right?
That's completely fine. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you know what, you Jamaican people, you're thinking in no. Like, this is the culture there. That's fine. In Sweden, it's a bit different. Like, people do focus on it more here, and they create inclusive bathrooms for like either trans people or gender neutral spaces, just to kind of ease that issue and not have much of like a discursive focus on it. But I feel like in maybe the Caribbean or the Americas, it's more of a topic. I don't know why identity politics over there seems to be a lot different than it is over here. Here things seem to be a bit more mellow. Like, it just, like, if people started identifying with things, then over time you'll notice European societies, or at least Sweden or in Scandinavia, they start naturally adapting to people's identities and create spaces for them as well.
Right, but the issue there is that when you start creating space for people at the expense of women, that's where the answer is going to be no. That's what people are doing in the United States. They are changing, right, to fit trans people's identities, and then they end up excluding women and destroying women's rights. And that's the issue here, right? So Sweden, or wherever you are, needs to get themselves together and realize that women still matter. Women are the whole point that those people exist.
No, but there's women's bathrooms, of course, dude. Like, it's not, there's still women's bathrooms, there's still men's bathrooms, and there's also gender neutral for those who want to engage in the gender neutral spaces. Or you can just go to the male-female ones, right?
Right.
So I don't think that's an issue. If we create space for women to be respected, men to be respected and safe, and also trans people and queer people, then I don't think that's an issue. Do you want to remove the privileges of like trans people in society by using
trans people don't need, this is the thing, trans people don't need special bathroom privilege. Trans women and men are still women and men. Trans women are men and trans men are women.
Do trans people need privileges in general?
No privileges. No, what privileges do trans people need? I'm going to say no.
Do protected identities or
protected identity is not a privilege. It would be a right. They have the right to exist as humans.
Sorry,
that's not something we're not contesting trans people. No one here denies that trans people are human. Like, I don't even know why people say trans rights are human rights, because everybody knows that trans people are human. That's not even the debate.
Of course,
right?
of course. But do you think that in the way that we let's say historically with different identities, certain societies will accommodate to them due to their experiences or their lived experiences in those societies or how they're treated. So trans people throughout history, right, and especially under colonialism, you could say, under Western colonialism and how it, imposed sort of this heteronormativity was already a thing, but you could see across certain other parts of the world, queer identities were more expressed, where colonialism kind of suppressed that. And because of that, right, now you see a backwards reaction where people are, pushing back on that, and it's creating more confusing discourse, obviously, because the system is very oppressive. People want to get away from it, and people are now realizing, oh, a couple hundred years ago, people also felt this way, but back then it worked differently. So today they're trying to fit that back into a corrupt system that's there to
It's
exploit.
not a correct system. Let me just make it very clear. And I don't even see why people get upset with heteronormativity. There's nothing wrong with heteronormativity because most people are heterosexual. I'm a bisexual man. I know this. The fact of the matter is we are always going to exist in a heteronormative society because most people are not gay. Most people are heterosexual. Right
Yes.
now, as far as I don't even know what that has to do with gender identity, but the fact of the matter is the main problem here is that trans people and these queer, I don't even know what these queer identities are that you're talking about. I don't call myself queer. I don't even see the point in calling yourself queer. These queer identities you're referencing are being used to push women out of their spaces. They are being used to erase women, and they are being used to override and degrade women. That is where the issue is. If they want to exist as queer identities alone, and they want to do it by themselves in their own little circles, they can do it. But the issue is that they want to place it in law in a way that gender identity is preferred or prioritized over biological sex, which is wrong. That's not in the best interest of women. And half of these progressive queer people call themselves feminists. They're not feminists. They're literally anti-feminist, and they only prioritize anything that isn't, quote, cis, white, and straight.
No, I can agree with you there. Yeah, for sure.
It's ridiculous. No, I'm going to move on to somebody else because I'm looking for disagree. It sounds like we agree on most, so I'm going to move on to somebody else. Thank you for coming up.
No, hold up. I still want to push back. on some things. Hold up.
I'm getting bored.
More to unpack here, right? Okay, don't get bored just yet.
Chad, y'all bored?
I mean, if they want to vote me out, sure, you can always drop me anyway. But at the end of the day, I'm here respectfully. I think there's more we can align on. Now, you mentioned that you don't understand why people identify with queer or queerness. Why is that? I think
I don't see the point in calling people queer. People are either gay, bisexual, or straight. There's no need to call people queer. As far as I remember, that was a slur. So there's no need for that. Thank you, Tanja.
It was a slur, right? Until people started using it for themselves. I mean, I've met a lot of queer people who call themselves queer, and they're all types of different identities, whether they're pan or bi or trans. Right? Queer is just an umbrella term, isn't it? Queer. What did queer mean before?
I thought it meant to be odd. That's what I remember.
Yeah,
queer
strange
meant
or
odd,
odd, right?
Strange or odd or out of place. But my point is, I don't like, and this is my issue. It is very ironic though, because I am told that I can't generalize about people, but y'all are the ones who create umbrella terms that generalize people. That's my issue. So I don't think we need to call people queer. You're either gay, you're bi, or you're gay, bi, or straight. It's very, very, very simple. I don't even all these labels and overcomplications don't make any sense to me. I don't see the point in calling people queer.
It's not just one or two identities. It's not just gay, straight, or bi, right?
What else is there?
There's pansexual.
Don't say pan. Pan is bi. Pan is bi with two-step verification. If you're okay, if pan means you're attracted to everybody, and there's only two kinds of everybody, meaning male and female, you're bisexual.
But again, there's social identities, right? Are we going just by sex or also gender construct?
Sexual orientation is based upon what sex you're attracted to.
And you don't think these terms, you don't think these terms can adapt over time?
I don't think that if there's attraction to anything outside of sex, I mean, there might be sub-specifications within that. Like there are men who only like feminine women. That's a part of the social is the feminine is the social part. But they're still only attracted to persons of the opposite sex. Thank you, Tanja. Can I get Tanja in chat? Thank you, love. Right? That's fine. But at the end of the day, you're either straight, gay, or bi. Pansexual does not make any sense. If pansexual means you're attracted to everybody, regardless of how they look and how they present, and there are only two types of people, there are males and there are females, you're just bisexual. I don't see the reason that we need to like these labels are all overcomplicated. You're bisexual
Look, I
with
can
two-step
understand.
verification.
I can understand from your perspective then, but then this is where like the disconnect comes, right? And this is where, while I can respect what you're saying and I will agree to like, you know, on certain premises of how the nature around trans identities could be deemed as sexist in some situations, or
It is.
that or that it perpetuates a grape culture, right? Yes, but then, right? That's the flatline agreement. What about when we start going into, okay, you shouldn't be identifying as non-binary or queer. Now you're taking away from me, which
I'm not
why?
taking away from
Of
you.
course
I'm
are.
saying you can. I'm not. I'm saying you can do it, but it don't make any fucking sense.
I mean, does it? To me, it doesn't make sense that you're here as well.
If I think it's nonsense. It does not exist. Persons are not non-binary, and this is a. Explain this. I want you to break it down. Chat. We're going to stray from the topic. I actually want to talk about this for a second, if you all don't mind. Right, chat. Do we mind? I want to break this down, this non-binary shit down right now. I think that
Sure,
this is
break
something that
me
needs
down, Edna.
it needs to be broken down. All right, let's just break it down. Right? Non-binary means what?
You tell me.
From what I understand, non-binary means that you don't identify as a man or a woman. Am I right or am I wrong?
Sure, the basic definition.
Okay, what is a woman first?
You tell me.
This is your identity. I want you to tell me. When you
No,
say
I really want to understand your perspective because I've
no,
given years.
I'm breaking
you know.
it down. Me breaking it down requires that you answer my questions. Okay, so you're the non-binary person here. You're the he they, maybe it, right?
Right.
You're the he they. You tell
Meaning,
us.
okay, so
what-
let me give you my perspective. I don't align with the I don't align fully with the socially mandated roles or dynamics situated. Hold up.
That's where it is. No, hold on. You're already.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you finish. But you're about to prove my point. Go.
Okay, prove your point out. Okay, because this is the thing. Language is important, right? So when
No.
we're talking
Finish. I'm going. I'm gonna explain to you how what you're doing is actually sexist. Go.
Okay,
Finish.
you have men and women, right? Okay, I feel more comfortable as a male identifying myself socially as a non-binary individual who does not line up with the man stereotype or the woman stereotype, and I find myself embodying many different tropes that are socially contextual, right? I could take up the role of a woman or I could take up the role of a man, depending on where I am and what I'm doing and, you know, what the society is mandating for us to be doing. Men and women were understood differently back then, right? These could have also been societal positions in society. How old are you?
done?
Like almost
Are you
30?
done?
I'm 25, dude. We don't know anything.
I am 19. Who told you I was
19? Oh shit. Okay, fine. You're 19.
35?
No, listen. I'm not saying you look old.
No. You just call me old?
No. I'm just assuming based on
35?
the platform. Based on the platform you have, I'm assuming. Yes, I'm just assuming.
Stop.
I don't expect 19-year-olds
no,
to
hold
pass
on.
that
No.
amount of years.
I'm stopping you. No number used to describe me should start with a 3. No.
All right, you're nearly 20. My bad.
I turned 19 last month.
Happy birthday. Hopefully many more cheerful ones to come. No, don't take it like that.
No.
Listen.
30.
Okay, if you're 19, makes a bit more sense why you're hosting something like this then. I think you still need to understand how the world works a little bit more.
Oh my goodness. Okay, if you said I had the intelligence of a 30-year-old, then maybe, because I've been told that before. But not that I look 30. All right.
No, not by your looks. No, I'm talking simply based on your.
So let me explain.
engagement.
Let me explain to me now where the sexism is. Okay. When you say you're not a man and not a woman, you're saying you don't align with those norms and stereotypes that women and men have in society. Socially, you don't align with those norms. What you're doing is you are acknowledging and affirming that idea that women and men are socially defined by stereotypes, and then running away from it and saying, I am not a man and a woman because of those things. It is like a person saying, I am not white or black because I don't align with stereotypes that are associated socially with either of the two categories. That is where the sexism is. So non-binary people, whilst trying to run away from sexism, end up affirming it. Because if you say, I am not a man and I'm not a woman because I don't align with the stereotypes associated with men and women, you are inadvertently stating that men and women are defined by stereotypes, which is the sexism. That's what you're doing. So non-binary people, not only is it sexist, it is not non-binary, it's nonsense. You're affirming the sexism and then claiming that you're not aligning with it. If you are... getting a phone call.
No, I'm saying that I also even connect with it a bit more.
Can y'all hear me? I got a phone call.
Yeah, you're good.
Right. What you're doing is you're saying, I am not a woman or a man because I don't align with those stereotypes. When you say you're not a woman or a man because you don't align with stereotypes, you are stating that those stereotypes define men and women, which is the sexism in the fucking first place. That is the point.
I mean, each society has its own stereotypes of men and women, right?
But they don't define them.
But
so
me,
just because
yes,
you don't
yes. And because
right, but hold on. So,
to...
but just okay, so great. So if they don't define them, you are not excluded from the category because you don't align with those stereotypes. You're still a man. You're just a man who does not conform to traditional masculinity, and that is fine. Not every man is going to fit that mold. This is part of the sexism I'm talking about.
That is more articulate. I will agree there. But however, we're still also dismissing that different societies do have their own stereotypes and
do you know what a stereotype is?
Edna, one sec. Also, contextually speaking, right? For some non-binary people, it allows them to connect more with femininity or masculinity. So it's not necessarily like sexist if it allows someone to connect more to female.
Aligning more with femininity does not change your gender. You are still a man or a woman. This is
no one's saying that. I am a man. I'm not saying my gender is different.
You said that you're non-binary, which means you're not a man and you're not a woman.
Socially non-binary, yes.
Okay, you cannot be socially non-binary because woman and man. No, you can't because you're still a man.
Are we engaged in person?
You're still a man, and you are not. Man and woman themselves are not social. They're not social things.
They absolutely are.
No, they're not. There are social things associated with men and women. The social things themselves do not define them. This is part of the issue. So this is the sexism I'm talking about. You guys conflate what society considers masculine with what a man is, and you conflate what is socially and culturally considered feminine with what a woman is. And then you use those things to create your identity, not realizing how sexist it sounds. You can't do that, okay? Let me give you an example. Right? If I had a bunch of stereotypes associated with white and black people, let's say the stereotype for black people is that black people go to family barbecues and they eat watermelon and chicken and we listen to Tupac Shakur. That's the stereotype. And then we have the stereotypes of white people. Sorry, my white people. Y'all boil chicken and y'all don't season it and y'all don't know how to drive. For example, those are the stereotypes. No. And a black man says to me, I am non-racial. I don't align with black or white because I don't align with any of those things. Is that person a little bit racist to you? Would that be ridiculous?
I don't know. I feel like that's a bit separate, though, isn't it? When it comes to
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're taking the stereotypes associated with a group of people and then saying, I don't belong to either of those categories because I don't align with the stereotypes. Not only are you affirming the stereotypes, right? But you're also reducing the category and oversimplifying it. That's what you're doing. Right? You can't say I'm non-binary because I'm not a man and I'm not a woman because I don't capitulate to those stereotypes. The fact of the matter is those stereotypes don't define men and women. So your gender, you as a man would not change just because you don't. You're just not masculine. That's fine.
No, I'm pretty masculine.
Well, so then how would you not align with those things? And that's the other confusing part. You masculine as fuck.
No. It's just about not aligning exclusively with it, right?
Yeah, but that's
what do you say? Well, hold up, Edna. What do you say about like people who identify as like gender queer or gender fluid?
They're fucking written. Let me not say the word. They are weird.
But this is the thing, Edna. Like,
It's
okay, okay.
dumb. It's dumb.
No.
You
Edna,
guys
Edna,
need to.
Edna,
You
Edna, hear me
guys.
out.
You
Hear me out.
guys need to.
Edna.
No, they
Please
need
hear
to
me out. Please hear me out.
They
Please,
need to
please, please,
separate.
please.
No, hold on. You asked me a question. I'm gonna answer you.
All right, all right.
Y'all need to separate masculine from man. Being masculine and being a man are not the same thing. Masculinity is associated traditionally with men, and men are traditionally masculine, but that does not define you as a man. Genderqueer is nonsense. You are either a man or a woman. Your expression does not dictate your gender. When you start to adhere to those ideas, you are reaffirming and reminting all of the stereotypes and all of the sexism and all of the gender roles that people have been trying to move away from. That's my fucking point. There's no such fucking thing as genderqueer. You're a
But you
masculine
can't-
man. You're a masculine woman or a feminine man, or you're androgynous. You don't need to attach your womanhood and your manhood to clothes and
But you
fashion.
can't say
That's not how it works.
You can't say that collectively humanity has been trying to get away from that because different societies operate differently. They have their
And
own.
genderqueer people are affirming, are bringing back those regressive stereotypes. That's what they're doing. And that's why I don't
And you think
support
it's
gender
deliberate?
ideology.
You think
I
they're
don't support gender
deliberately doing
ideology. Yes, they are deliberately doing it because they're men like me. You see me calling myself genderqueer in Jamaica. I look very weird. I've walked in public and people call me miss. I walk in public and people don't know what I am. You see me
Okay.
walking around going, I'm genderqueer, he, she, they. No, because I know I'm a man.
But I mean,
in my
Edna.
society in Jamaica, the typical man does not look like this. I don't
But
look
see,
like a typical masculine man.
I've actually okay, I haven't met so many Jamaican people, but I've met two that are
Look up
actually
your
genderqueer.
typical. Look up your. Well, then they're fucking delusional. Look up a typical Jamaican man. Typical Jamaican man.
Yeah,
they wear
I've
them-
seen-
they wear crufty clarks and they wear the pants them sag down to below them batiole and then walk around and them walk side to side like this. Also them walk. That's what a traditional Jamaican. I don't look like the traditional Jamaican man. But I'm not going to say that I'm not a man because I don't adhere to those things. I'm still a fucking man. My manhood is not subtracted from. My manhood is not subtracted from because I don't adhere with traditional masculinity. And no one's gonna change my mind about that.
I'm not saying that I'm not a man, right? This is the silver
You
lining.
just
here.
said
No.
you are no. I'm going to stop you. You just said you were non-binary, and non-binary means that you are not a man or a woman. That's what you
No,
said.
that's not what it means. That's not what I said either.
When I asked you what non-binary means, and you told me to give you
Not
my
a man
description,
or not
I
a woman.
said it.
Wait. But how can you not be a man or not be a woman? This is the fucking
That's
issue,
what
right?
you said it
Okay,
was.
Edna, that's not what I said though.
People
Gender
in chat.
identity isn't exclusive male or female.
Alhamdulillah. When I asked you,
Alhamdulillah.
when I asked you,
Are you Muslim?
what it means to be when I asked you what it
Alhamdulillah.
means to be, when I asked you what it means to be non-binary, and I
Aywa.
asked you if it means to be neither man or woman, did you not say
No,
yes?
I said your gender identity isn't exclusively male or female. That's what I
That
said.
you did not use the words male and female because male and female are sexist.
Yes,
you
I
did
did.
not say that. You lied.
Yes, I did. Okay,
That's
well,
not what
let
you
me
said.
correct myself.
That's not what you said.
I'm being more articulate now, right? This is what I stand by. Your gender identity is not exclusively male or female.
Male and female are not gender identities. Male and
Yes,
female are
they're the
sexes.
sex. Those are sexes.
So your
which-
gender identity is
rises-
not male and female.
right.
Gender
which-
identity is not male or female.
Right. So male and female gives rise to what? Man or woman. These are the traditional identities formed
They're
off
not.
of your base.
They're
off
not
of your sex.
traditional identities. They are
They
the
are.
states of no. They are states of being. A man is an adult human male, and a woman is an adult human female. Okay. Now
Mm-hmm.
you cannot disalign with those things because they are not contingent on your mind. If you disalign with your sex, you are delusional.
So is there any gender for you? Is there such thing as gender?
Gender, to me, there are two contexts for the word gender, and I have to break this down because y'all keep confusing it. There are two senses for the word gender. The gender in the sociological or anthropological sense refers to masculinity and femininity, meaning socially constructed ideas that we have created around men and women. That is what they mean by gender in a social context. Nowhere in sociology do they say that men and women themselves are social constructs. We cannot be social constructs because we are human beings. Human beings are not social constructs, okay? So masculinity and femininity is what is meant by gender in that sense. Now, in every other form of language, In any ordinary usage, the words gender and sex mean the same thing. In every other traditional understanding or common usage of the word gender, most people commonly use the word gender and sex interchangeably. The only time the meaning changes is when they're talking about it specifically in feminist literature or anthropological sciences or sociological sciences. And they don't mean men and women in that context. They are not saying men and women are social constructs. They are saying gender refers to what is socially associated with those men and women, i.e. masculine and feminine expectations. That is the social construct. And
Okay, so
every time you
who-
conflate, and every time you conflate that with men and women, you are enforcing and reinforcing and perpetuating sexism. Stop conflating what it means to be masculine with a man. Not the same thing. They are tightly associated, but you do not have to be masculine to be a man. Because if that was the case, I would be a woman, Jeffree Star would be a woman, and I said Charlie Kirk, James Charles would be a woman, all of these men would be women, right? Which is not the case. Men and women are biological realities, and the social constructs are mapped onto or associated with men and women. That is the social construct. Every time you conflate them, you are being sexist. And every time trans people do it, they are also being sexist. Anytime a trans woman says, I'm a woman because I adhere to the social construct of femininity, you are reducing women to stereotypes.
What do you think of gender dysphoria?
Okay, now gender dysphoria actually has nothing to do with society. Gender dysphoria has to do with biology, which is the ironic part, because you all say gender and sex are different, but then gender dysphoria refers to distress that a person experiences with their sex. Gender dysphoria, definitionally, as a part of the psychological, the DSM manual, is psychological distress that a person has with the sex that they were born. That's what gender dysphoria is. Okay, now trans people experience that. That's the reason they're trans, because at the end of the day, they want to be the opposite sex. And y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all obfuscate with gender. Y'all bring up gender and go, well, it's a social it's not a social construct. Y'all want to be the opposite sex. And because you can't be the opposite sex, you try to delegitimize sex or illegitimize sex, and then make it about gender. Masculinity and femininity does not make persons men and women. And every day I see a trans person do it, I'm going to call out the sexism, and I'm going to keep making statements like this because it is sexist.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just going by what I've been, raised in, right? So it's not deliberate from my end. But have you heard of someone like Anne Oakley or Judith Butler and these writers?
Judith Butler is a nut job. Judith Butler said that sex itself was a social construct. That woman is a dumbass.
Okay, I disagree there, of course.
She's a dummy. Judith Butler won. I don't even know if you can call it winning.
What about
she received
Judith Lorber?
worst. She received worst author of the year. I can't remember what year it was. Can somebody remind me? Judith Butler is a fool. She's a woman who perpetuates sexism against her own gender, and she is so ridiculous.
Okay.
You can read her. I'm not telling anybody not to read. Read what she says, because when I was on the fence about the trans issue,
No, I
read Gender Trouble by Judith Butler. And as I'm reading, I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga on about? What is she on?
So you're not
That
with
sex-
so you're not with queer studies, queer gender studies, like these
Gender
things.
studies is just a study of sexism and the perpetuation of sexism. Gender studies does not
Okay.
actually help. Gender studies does not help anybody.
Now,
every
what
person I know who ever did gender studies, bar none, works in a Starbucks or a Burger King.
But isn't this just like an intersectional way of like what's the word? Observing sexism as well, and how different people engage.
The problem
within it?
is, hold on, I can agree that they address sexism in queer or gender theory, but the problem is they observe it and they perpetuate it. That's why I don't support it.
you're saying they perpetuate it-
There's a difference. You can study the
No,
literature.
I wanna understand you. So they're perpetuating it by limiting men and women to societal stereotypes.
Yes.
And disconnecting from that specifically.
Yes, it's what they do when
Okay.
when people in
Or
gender
connect to
theory,
it.
or if they connect to it, there's nothing wrong with connecting to masculinity or femininity. That's not what I'm saying. When you say you are a man or a woman because of it, that is where the issue is.
But isn't
Manhood
that
and woman.
most men and women right now anyway?
No.
Wouldn't you say they're perpetuating sexism?
How many
as well?
women in here? I'm gonna ask my people in chat. How many women in here is your womanhood attributed to femininity or being female?
No, not the women, but like the men, for example, right? Because men and women
or
do
even
differ.
or even the men in chat, is your identity, is your manhood attributed to being male or being masculine? Most men would tell you it's because they're male.
What, because of their penises? That's it.
Well, because of their reproductive development, yes.
Okay, but like if
Being
you
a
ask
man,
them, if you're asking them socially, like socially speaking, right?
Socially speaking, there's just masculinity.
You've grown up as a man. I've grown up as a man. We can both testify to how men or boys growing up engage with each other and try to put down each other's manliness due to different stereotypes.
I
right?
agree,
These are all things
but
that we...
you don't help with that when you say that men and women are therefore defined by those things. That's the point.
No, I'm not saying that.
So I agree. Yes, you are.
No.
Yes, you are. That's
How?
the crux of your non-binary identity.
How?
You said that you don't conform to those stereotypes, therefore you're not a man or a woman.
No. I said I don't exclusively
That's also
conform.
not. That's
Listen,
also
Edna,
not what.
Edna. Let
That's
me
not what
explain
the
it.
phraseology. That's not what the phraseology non-binary. Hold on, stop. That's not what the, listen. That's not what non-binary means. When something is not of the binary, it does not mean that it does not exclusively align with one or the other category. It means it does not belong to any of the categories at all.
It's not that literal either, right?
That is literally what the phrase
that's literally
binary means.
That's literally what the two words mean together, but in context, right, of what they're communicating,
it's not non-binary then.
It is about gender identity, not...
No, you're gender non-conforming. No, you're gender non-conforming. You don't conform to gender norms. That's different. You're not non-binary.
Sure, I mean, okay, then what does that change, really? I don't conform to...
Listen, you're a man. You're a man who does not conform to traditional masculinity, and that's okay.
Right, but then I'm still insinuating that there are stereotypes that I'm disconnecting from.
Sure, but you're not. But you're not saying that you're not a man because of it. You were saying you weren't a man because of it. Before with the non-binary, that's the difference. There's nothing wrong with saying I'm saying the same thing too. I don't conform to traditional masculinity. Have I ever said, chat, that I'm not a man or anything other than that? No. You're either a feminine man or a man who does not conform to traditional masculinity. At the end of the day, you're still a man. You're nothing.
So what about throughout history, like maybe the Native Americans, right? They had like...
Don't say two-spirit. Please do not say two-spirit.
They had different things, dude. I mean, India had its own things as well.
I'm going to address this. I'm going to move on because my chat is getting very bored. But
why are you getting bored? I mean, guys, you won't find a better, more entertaining guest up here. You won't find someone with as much respect.
Okay, let me break it down for you. Two-spirit is not a third gender per se. I think you all confuse what two-spirit means. Two-spirit in Native American culture, which by the way was coined by white Europeans. They didn't call it two-spirit themselves.
No, I know.
Europeans called it that. So you all complain about colonialism.
I know. They have another name for it.
But are using colonialist terms to describe these people.
I did not use two-spirit.
But that aside, it referred to one of two things: either a man or a woman who took on both masculine and feminine expectations, and by man and woman we mean adult human males and adult human females, or it referred to a person who had lost their partner, their wife or husband had died, and they took on the spiritual role of that person. That's why they were considered two-spirit, right? They were still men and still women, and those native cultures had words for men and women. Right now, hold on. But they're not different genders. They're still men and women. Men and women still exist in that culture, and it refers to biological sex. Now, as far as the Indians are concerned, in Hindu or in Hindu culture, there is a term called Hijra. Now, Hijra is actually sex specific. Only males can be Hijras. Refers to a man. It refers to a man. I know the description says or intersex. Intersex isn't a third sex, so
no. I'm not talking about intersex. I'm reading here about the Navajo or
Navajo
Nadlihi
tribe.
and Lakota Winkte. Yeah, they recognize multiple genders essential for community balance.
What they mean by gender is different in that context. When they say gender in that context,
These
they're not
roles?
talking about they're talking about gender roles. They're talking about their different
thank
terms.
you. Okay,
They're
okay.
Right. That's what I said. I said there were two meanings to the word gender. You have
Okay, so
gender
if we put
in
that
the
today, if
you
we
have
use that
gender
meaning
in the
today-
academic. Hold on. You have gender in the academic sense, and then you have gender in the ordinary sense. When anthropologists are studying these things, like you, Keisha, can I get Keisha in chat? When anthropologists are studying these native cultures and they're studying these tribes, when they are talking about gender, in that context, they are referring to particular roles or terms that are used to describe people who take on different roles and expectations associated with sex. That is what they mean by gender, not what we mean by gender. When we say gender in the ordinary sense, we mean male and female. In that context, they are referring to different roles. Just like how we have a third term, even in our culture, for a different quote unquote gender, right? So we have man, woman, and then we have subcategories. We have femboys, we have tomboys, we have femme queens or studs or whatever. Those are secondary or sub terms that we use. But at the end of the day, those persons are still men and women. They're still adult humans of either of the two sexes. Stop conflating the two. Okay. So when we talk about those people, right, if those cultures, they have words. They're simply third or fourth terms that describe types of men and types of women.
Okay, so we see throughout history different people engaged with these attributes and roles and dynamics very differently, and that they fluctuate over time, and due to different events of dominating cultures, giving us the perception of these identities, we now have to start from scratch. So what you're admitting to is essentially the people that you criticize today, right, are number one, suffering the consequences of identity politics throughout history. Okay. Number two, attempting to disconnect from an oppressive system that targets and exploits singular identities within an individualistic context.
What are you
and
saying?
Number three, what you're saying is, based on what you just spoke about in context to Native Americans and how they engaged with gender roles and dynamics, you're literally describing the same thing that people do today. We just use the language we have today. Yes. This is
I am
what's
not,
throwing me off.
because the Native American people never said that we're not men and women anymore.
But you don't know this. You didn't live with them. You don't know what they spoke
The
about.
literature says it. The literature
What
that
literature?
studies
The
them.
colonial literature?
The literature says it. The literature does not say that there were native women who said they were men, and they said they were men, and society recognized them as men. Doesn't
they
say
do it
that.
in Australia. The Aboriginal communities do it in Australia. So what's different there?
Okay, hold on. You keep jumping from culture to culture, and you don't
I'm
allow me to
explaining
address
humanity.
it. Hold on,
in Australia,
stop.
the Aboriginal communities.
In Australia, if there are people there who think that people can be the opposite sex or gender, they are just as delusional as the people doing it in the UK and Canada and all the other places.
So the
okay?
Aboriginal peoples are as delusional as
if there are
contemporary
Aboriginal people who define women and men by gender roles and think that persons change gender based on gender roles, it is sexism. Yes, it is.
Sexism towards who? All women around the whole world, or
it is
within
sexist.
that
It is
society?
sexist. It is sexist within that society as well.
But what if the way that these women are identifying within that society in another society would be deemed as very not feminine at all, and any woman engaging with such attributes would be deemed
It doesn't change the fact that they're women. A woman doesn't fly from Japan to America and change her gender because the cultural expectations are different. Her sex does not change.
A woman is an adult female, right?
Right. So a woman would not.
Woman. What's a trans?
An adult human male who wants to be an adult human female and will never be an adult human female.
And that's
what a trans woman is.
Okay, and like, what's the issue with that?
Okay, and the issue now is that those men, those adult human males who want to be adult human females, want to enter women's spaces, they want to claim women's identities, and they want to claim women's spaces. And the answer to that is no. And they are also perpetuating sexism towards women, and they also perpetuate
that we can
rape
agree
culture
on
in society. And that was my point. So we agree.
Okay.
There it is.
Hold up. Last question. Are you pro-Israeli?
I don't have an opinion on the conflict. Not educated enough to speak on it.
That's good. You have a lot of Zionists in your comments. I'm just wondering. Okay, well, Edna, I'm gonna come back to you one other day, and we will continue this conversation because I think there's more to unpack.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming up.
All right, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Yemen, free Congo, free the world, free Haiti, free Tibet, free.
All the women that you want to free in Sudan are female, by the way. None of them are men. Can I
Hello?
get your age, please? Yes.
I am 18 years old. I was born in 2007, April 20.
Okay. Do you think trans women are women?
Yes, I do.
Y'all know what to type in chat. We got a traitor. All right. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think a woman is? Go
Well,
ahead.
I honestly just wanted to ask you a question because I was in the chat for a bit and I was like talking like with some people, and I just think like I'm in a workspace where I work with a transgender woman who also goes to the same bathroom as I do, and I've never was scared of going into the same space as her because she was actually so sweet and is so kind, right? So I just want to
Okay.
know.
You let a kind man in the women's restroom. You want a cookie?
No, she is a woman. She's fully transitioned.
That's
She
not a
does
woman.
not have the
That's
bottom
a
part of a man.
that's a man, and he does have the bottom part of a man even after his surgery.
Oh, you think so?
Do you know how the surgery works? Should I go get the banana, chat?
Oh, don't
I
even.
think we're gonna have to go and get a banana. Chat. What? Do I have bananas in my kitchen? We have to get the banana. 'Cause I think y'all
No,
don't know.
I
Y'all don't
actually
know
just
how
want
the-
to keep this respectful. You
No, we're
know?
gonna keep it
Like, I
respectful.
don't
All
want
right.
to like.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna use this straw.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
So
Come on.
think of this as the penis. All right. This is how the surgery works. So this is the thing. TikTok, do not take me down. This is for educational purposes only.
TikTok, we're
This
just
is
educating people.
just to educate yourselves here.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. This is the skin. They rip the skin and they tear it down the middle. Let me see if I can tear this wrapper down the middle. Right.
Okay.
So this is it, right? They rip the skin down and they take off all the skin. This is skin. Skin
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Right. They then invert the penis in ways and they dig a hole right here. It's like this, right? And this is a hole that you're looking down. See it in the camera? Yeah. So they invert it and then they leave the rest. They drill a hole right here and they remove your balls. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this still a straw, love?
Well, I personally never seen the results of like such a transition, right?
But it's a simple question. Is it a straw? I
Well,
took the
it
straw,
was a
I
straw.
inverted it, and I cut it all up. Does
It was a straw. Can you wait? My question is, can you still use that
become a
straw?
seashell?
No.
Is it a
can you
seashell
still-
or is it a straw?
No, I have a question real quick for you. Can
What's
you
your
still
question?
use that straw?
Huh?
Can you still use that straw like you could before?
No, you couldn't use it the same way, no. But it's still a straw.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So there is.
Yeah,
a
but he's still
difference between that.
he's still a man. The reason
Well,
men don't
I
go into
think
women's
everybody
restrooms is because
can
they're
believe
male.
what they want, of course. Like
No,
I'm
but
not
it's
gonna.
it's not what I want to believe. It's what's true. The fact of the matter is the person after the surgery is still a male, right? Now the issue is, and this is the issue that I have with the community. This community softens women, and this is also part of grape culture. If y'all can stay away for a second. If a man is so nice to you, and a man is so good to you that you let him violate women's boundaries and you allow him, you basically let your guard down, that's not a safe man. A man should not make you feel happy or feel nice to then violate your boundaries. That's not okay. So you can't say the trans woman made me feel safe. The trans woman made me feel happy. The trans woman made me feel safe around him. Therefore, I let him into the women's restroom. No, at the end of the day, no matter how nice that man is, respectfully, he should not be in women's spaces. And by the way, this does not only apply to trans women. This applies to all men. Men just need to stay out of women's spaces. Okay, so even if you feel safe, you want to feel safe, go and sit down with him at a cafe. If you want to sit with your trans woman friend at the cafe, you can go and sit and you can have a jolly good time with them. But you should not. I don't think you should sit there as a woman and allow him into the women's restroom because you also cannot
I
consent for
understand.
other women.
Could I say something real quick? I understand that a lot of women are afraid of going into the same bathroom as a person who is transgender, which is why I also think there should be gender neutral bathrooms for these kind of people, right? But
I agree.
obviously we also have to see it like this, that these people are also just as afraid as we are, and we just gotta live with that fact. And all I want in the world
What
is
are trans
normal
people
human
afraid of?
respect towards
What are they
everyone,
afraid?
right?
What are they afraid of?
Who, the transgender people or us?
What are the trans people afraid of?
Well, obviously for being judged, being beaten up, being so totally disturbed by cis people. Have you ever heard of
So
any
women
of the
are
cases
supposed to
of
put up.
trans
So
women
women are
getting
supposed to.
so harshly attacked
So
by
hold
cis
on.
men?
You don't think any of this happens to women? Hence, they need the spaces in the first place. All right, so great. So we have two issues. If you're saying trans people are being beat up, I don't know why this is happening, like in a large amount, but I mean, it's still wrong regardless of how many people are experiencing it. So that is wrong. If trans people are being beat up because they're trans, that's wrong, irrespective of how
Yeah.
much it is
Yeah.
happening. But the issue is, it's not women's problem. However, this is not meant in an insensitive way. It is not women's problem to accommodate them because they are scared of being beat up. Men who are afraid of being beat up in the men's restroom or in men's faces or in general are not women are not meat shields for them. They're not human shields for those men. That's what needs to be understood. So that's where the issue is. We can acknowledge that there are trans people out there who are experiencing discrimination, and I'm not for it, and I don't think anyone here is okay with or condones trans people or anybody of any demographic experiencing discrimination. But you cannot then basically give them what they want at the expense of women and their spaces. That's where the issue is. If you
Yeah.
want to create gender neutral spaces, create gender neutral spaces. But women should not have to put up with any man, regardless of his propensity to be attacked or to be assaulted. Respectfully, trans woman or not. Women
No,
are not
I understand.
responsible.
I completely get your point. Like, I totally get you. And like I said earlier, I would think that people, transgender people, non-binary people, or whatever is out there should get their own bathrooms.
Whatever is out
a
there is
gender
crazy.
neutral bathroom. Like, I'm always saying, like, you can believe what you want. Like, they're not real, they're whatever, they're, you know,
But
like,
hold on. But what I want you to get down to, you said trans women were women. That's what you said.
well, for me, in my point of view, trans women can be women.
Okay, tell us
Right?
what a woman is. Tell us.
A woman is a woman that identifies as a woman.
That's circular. You can't repeat a
A
word
woman
when
that
defining
feels
a
and
word.
identifies as a woman.
That's
That's
also
that's a
circular.
woman for me.
You're not describing anything. What does the word mean? Elaborate and expound beyond the word. You can't say a woman is a person who identifies as a woman. You're not describing anything to me. You're just repeating the word. Right? So this is very much basic common knowledge, which is my issue. A lot of y'all, I don't know if it's the Starbucks and whatever the hell where y'all are working, but the schooling doesn't teach you that when you're defining a word, you don't repeat the word itself. How many people were taught this? I do ask this question every day. It's basic common sense.
Wait, can I just answer a question I was just asked because I was asked what I am?
I
I am
want
a
you to.
cisgender woman. Just
I want you
literally.
to. You don't need to call yourself cis love. They're not watching. Just, just call yourself a woman. You're a woman, right? So
Yeah.
it's just common sense, right? You can't say a woman is a person who identifies as a woman. You're not describing anything. Hold on, I keep getting a phone call. Hold on.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
Sorry. Can y'all hear me? I keep getting
Yeah,
phone
yeah, of
calls.
course. Don't worry.
Sorry. Right.
Okay.
So as I was saying, right, you can't say that a woman is a person who identifies as a woman. Expound.
Well, obviously, a woman is a person born a woman. If we go back to the start, right? Like, if you were
No, but
born with a
do you mean a
vagina, you
person?
are obviously a woman.
But
And if you
trans
were
women are not born with vaginas; they're born with dick and balls.
exactly,
So
exactly,
right. So then,
and
so then
that's
you
what
could.
separates
That,
them from us, right? A transgender woman
right,
is
but you're
not.
still saying, that they're women. So you have to give a description that includes them. But being born with a vagina does not include trans women are not born with vaginas.
Of course, and I never said that includes them. I'm just saying
So
that
can I get a
I view.
definition of? So can I? You said trans women are women. Give me a definition of the word woman that includes them.
I don't think there is one.
So how do you know that they're women? Or how can you argue it?
Well, technically, trans women are trans women, and we are women. That's
You're just repeating
different.
the statement. You're just saying trans women are trans women. It does not explain
Well, what
anything.
do you want me to explain exactly?
I want you to use. Are they a type of woman?
What type of woman?
Are trans women a type of woman
Well, they
to
are
you?
trans women. They were
Okay,
born
you're
male
just
and transitioned
repeating.
to a
You're
female.
you're just repeating. Okay, and there's the other misconception. People do not transition to female. This is not transformers. You don't transform. It's not like you're not a Decepticon. They don't change or transform into anything. They don't transition to female. They're still male. They are born male, they live as male, and they die male. That's just a fact. So they don't transition to female. That's one. Right now, aside from that, as I was saying, right, you need to give a definition that actually includes the people you're trying to include. You're trying to include trans women. Can I get a definition that includes them?
I don't think I can give you that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so how are you able to argue that they are women if you don't know?
Well, like I said, in my point of view, they are women. Whatever
How are
anybody
they
else.
women? How are they women if you don't know what the word means?
Well, like I said, a woman is a woman born with a vagina.
That does not include trans women.
Sorry, I'm just very.
No, but this is the issue that needs to be addressed. You guys are being guilt tripped into being nice to trans people. You're up here saying you think trans women are women, and you don't even know why. Do you see the issue here? Chat, are we registering the issue? And I'm not saying this to be mean to you. This is what is happening to women.
Like I said, I'm just listening to you.
You're being guilt tripped into supporting a community and supporting a movement. You don't even know why you support it because you don't know what they are. You're saying trans women are women, and you don't know what a woman is, and you're unable to articulate it.
Well, I'm not really that much. Like, I'm not a part of the LGBTQ plus blah blah blah. Like, I'm not part of that. Never
I'm
really
not
got
saying you
into
have
that.
to be. I'm just
I
saying that you're
have
supporting.
respect for them, and that's where.
Where's your respect for women?
I have a lot of respect for women, as I am one myself.
Then why are you calling men women?
Well, I never said that a man is a woman. I just said that a transgender woman that
What is
has
it?
all
A
their
trans-
sex changes
a
can be a woman.
They don't change sex. You're confused. They don't change sex. Humans cannot change sex. I've addressed this before. Humans are categorized as what we call gonochoric species. Gonochoric species cannot change their sex. Okay, there are three categories for sexual for mutability or status of sex in sexually reproducing species. There's gonochorism, there's sequential hermaphroditism, and there's simultaneous hermaphroditism. Okay, I'm gonna break them down for you, and I'm gonna explain to you how it works. Simultaneously hermaphroditic species possess reproductive anatomy that produces or is organized primarily around the production of both gametes. So they produce both egg and sperm, essentially. Okay? Sequentially hermaphroditic species can change sex. That applies to some frogs, worms, clownfish, common example. They can change sex. They go from male to female. That's sequential hermaphroditism. Humans are gonochoric, meaning we stay one sex, we're born a sex, we stay a sex, and we die that sex. The sex does not change over the course of our lifetime. So the phraseology sex change is an oxymoron. They don't change sex. They're the exact same sex they were when they started. Okay? So you all see the transition. They're not going anywhere. Okay? And that's not out of what y'all call transphobia. That's a fact in biology. No human in the history of the universe has ever changed their sex. Every human male was born a male, lived as male, and died a male. Every human female was born a female, lived a female, and died a female. That's very, very, very simple basic science, right? So no, you can't say after they've changed their sex, now they're women.
Obviously their bones, and if they should die and later on be digged up again, obviously their bones are gonna be seen, and that was gonna be a man, no matter what they identified as. So you're
They're
right.
still men even when they're flesh and bone.
No. I'm agreeing with you right now.
Right, so then you can't say that they're women after they change their sex because they don't change sex. Thank you, Jaden. They don't change sex. They're the exact same sex they were when they started. That's the point. And your inability to see that proves the delusion that I'm talking about. If you believe that humans can change sex, you're incorrect. Now that you've clarified that that's not the case, what makes them women?
Honestly, I came up on here because I'm open-minded, right? I wanted to see if you can change my mind on anything, and I feel like you changed my mind on a lot, but I still am very respectful towards everything. Like,
You
I
keep
respect you
using the word. Why do you people use the word respect in place of lying to people? You are
because
lying to
respect
people.
is very important.
If I lied to you, do I truly respect you?
No.
Or would a person who respects you tell you the truth? Right.
Probably.
So if I agree with if I respect you, I'm not going to lie to you, right? Generally speaking, when you respect a person, you don't lie to them. I know people do it to protect their feelings or whatever, right? But it's not okay, especially when the lying that you're doing enforces the idea that men are women and it actually harms women. So the lie you're telling them, when you lie to a person and tell them that they are a woman when they're not, is actually disrespectful to women. So I'm going to give you an example. If a person was born white and they identified as black, they were transracial. They're not cisracial. They don't identify with the race they were assigned at birth. They identify with a different race. Would you respect them and call them or refer to them as a black person? Or would you find it disrespectful to black people and not do it?
Well, I would definitely see disrespectful towards black people, but at the end
Why
of the
is
day,
it?
the truth is
Why
gonna
is
come
it
out
Hold on. Why is it disrespectful?
because it's like it's just I thought that was like obvious. Like obviously it's disrespectful.
Why?
Like,
I want you to see the parallel. Why is it disrespectful?
why do you want me to answer that?
Because you're gonna prove the point. You said you were open minded to having your mind changed. I'm trying to explain to you what your line of thought facilitates. Why would it be disrespectful for us to say that a white person who wants to be black is black? Why is it disrespectful to black people?
Because a white person cannot just change their race. Like
Exactly. The same way a man cannot change his sex. Bingo.
okay, yeah.
Right. So there you understand the disrespect. You're not respecting them, you're disrespecting women. That is the issue. Okay. So when you refer to men as women and you say that they are women and they can transition and change their sex, you're not helping women. You're disrespecting women and then calling it trans inclusivity. If your advocacy for trans people involves you respecting the very people who put you on this earth, there's an issue with your advocacy. And I think that people who are pro-trans need to see that. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry. I'm just laughing because people in the chat are going on about me not actually being a woman.
I don't know who's saying that, but
No, it's just funny to me. Don't worry.
right. So you understand now the point, right?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So that's the issue. So what are you going to do about it from now on?
Let me just ask you one more thing. Like, I think, like I said from the start, that for people like that should be gender neutral bathrooms, right? I said that from the start. Like, that's obviously the better opinion, right?
Okay.
And I think we can agree on that.
What's the question?
But my question, now I forgot it. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, right. So my question is, so you're not being transphobic, you're just basically trying to bring up that women, like transgender women, are not actually women. That's all you're trying to do here.
That's all I'm saying. There's nothing transphobic about what I'm saying. I'm saying that they're not women, which people consider transphobic, but it's not. I'm not being transphobic. They're not women. And they are perpetuating rape culture and sexism in society towards women and everybody else. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's a fact. That's not irrational, because I think y'all keep forgetting what a phobia is. A phobia is an irrational fear or aversion to something.
Yeah.
There's nothing irrational about what I'm saying, because if it was irrational, somebody would be able to come up here and prove it to me. I don't believe anything that I've said here is irrational. I'm speaking the truth, and people are mad about it because the truth only offends liars. If you're offended by what I'm saying and you don't like it, it's probably because you're a liar, because I'm speaking the truth. If you disagree, I'm giving y'all the opportunity. I've given people opportunity to speak. Y'all can come up and y'all can explain it.
No, like that's why I came up here, because like all I was like seeing was like that people were like calling you transphobic, and I just wanted to see for myself, right? But I don't see you being like hateful towards the trans community. I'm just seeing you speaking facts, because what you've been saying to me is just facts, and I totally agree with what you're saying.
And I appreciate your maturity for acknowledging that. So I appreciate you for
No
coming up. So I'm
problem.
gonna move
Like
on
I
to
said from the start, I was just trying to come up here, like talk about that. But thank you for getting me up here.
Of course. All right.
To
Thank
the
you for coming
chat,
up.
can I just
All
say
right.
something to the chat?
Okay.
Like, I just thought it was so funny how y'all kept calling me a man. I'm sorry. It was so funny.
Stop.
All right. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Yeah, man. You too. Have a good one. Tim, can we get your age, please?
I'm 25.
Okay. You keep pausing. So if you keep scrolling out, I can't hear you. All right.
Sorry. My name is Tim. I'm 25.
Okay. Do you think trans women are women?
I do believe so.
The Chasers! Guys, we're on Chaser. Okay, all right. Can we all know exactly what to type in chat? My God. All right. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what a woman is?
Well, I have a question. What do you define as being a woman and female? Is there a difference in that definitions or no?
There isn't a difference aside from species and age. So the words male and female or female applies to all sexually reproducing species. The term female is not species specific, but the word woman is a humanizing term that specifies that the female we're talking about is a human adult. That's what a woman is. A woman is an adult human female.
Okay. So my question is, would you classify women and men just being scientifically gendered by X, Y, and XX chromosome?
No, sex is not defined by chromosomes.
Okay. So I have a question though, but so you believe that trans women are not women and they perpetuate rape culture, but
You have to say grape culture. Can't say
rape
the R
culture,
word.
my apologies. My apologies. But my question is that if you don't believe that gender is based off of like scientific like chromosome and stuff like that, how do you argue that trans women are not women?
It's based upon reproductive anatomy. That's what defines sex. So the sexes in biology, in evolutionary biology, are defined as reproductive strategies that are ordered around the production of large or small gametes, or produce large or small gametes. Right?
So
That's what.
2% of all humans,
Thank you,
or
Raf.
2% of all humans are intersex and they have neither. What would you say about that?
Sorry, name
Or
an
both?
intersex condition, because I don't think you know anything about intersex people. Name an intersex. Can I get W Raf in chat for the money guns? Thank you, Raf. W Raf in chat. Right? Name an intersex
I'm not
condition.
like, no, I'm not very versed into intersex,
So
but I
why'd
do
you
know
bring
that
it up?
intersex is
Because if you knew
because
anything about
it is a thing. It is a thing.
it's a thing, but if you knew anything about them, you would know that intersex people are still either male or female, and we don't use the term intersex to describe our conditions anymore. The term that is used in modern medical literature is disorder or difference of sexual development. Now, those conditions are simply a range of congenital conditions that affect males and females. So you can be a male with a DSD, meaning disorder or difference of sexual development, or a female with a disorder or difference of sexual development. Okay? So intersex people are either male or female, and we can determine that by the condition that the person has, because most of these conditions are actually sex specific. Okay, so that's why I asked you to name a condition. Name an intersex condition.
Okay.
Because
You know,
this is where the
I think that,
tokenization comes in.
not to lie, I think that I may not be as prepared, and you may be more prepared than I am. So I do apologize for wasting your time. I need to get back on and do some more research, and then maybe I'll come back. My apologies.
Okay, all right. Thank you for coming up. Get your age.
I'm 18.
Right. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Of course, yeah.
Of course, yeah. Okay. Tell us what you disagree with.
I disagree. Okay. Why can we not look in a human aspect instead of going into the nitty-gritty of like identity is this? Why can we not just at first treat them as human? Because that's
Who is
the
saying here?
first
Who here is saying trans people aren't human? Who said that?
people are not necessarily saying that, but the agenda you're pushing, it's clear like that.
It's
Like,
not. I literally have been saying from the beginning that trans people are human and trans people exist. I've never denied the existence of trans people. So I don't know where you're getting that from.
yeah, but you're
that's-
you're like you can say they exist, yeah, but you're belittling them. Like
I'm
they're
not
already
belittling.
like
I'm
a
not
minority.
I'm not belittling them. Stating the truth about if a person feels belittled by the truth, then they're a liar. I'm not telling anything that's not true. Name me one thing that I said that isn't true about them.
That they don't have gender dysphoria.
What? I said trans people don't have gender dysphoria.
Yeah, you said that. I swear to God.
When?
Today, I think.
With who?
With someone. I don't know. I don't.
At no point in time did I ever say that trans people don't experience gender dysphoria. In fact, the little Muslim they them that was up here before, he said to me that he asked me if I acknowledge that gender dysphoria exists, and I said yes. I even described it. I said gender dysphoria is the marked psychological distress that a person has with their biological sex. What are you talking about? I never said that trans people don't experience gender dysphoria. It's a critical part of their existence. So I would never say that. And this just to clarify, this is part of my issue with y'all. Y'all will come up here with your y'all come up here and fight tooth and nail for trans people and be fighting me over things I'm not even saying. You talking to a duppy? Because I didn't say that.
That's literally what you said. You insinuated that.
I did not say that trans people do not experience gender dysphoria.
Have you ever heard
What
of
did I say? What was the statement?
It was that trans people that have gender dysphoria are like, you said something mentally ill or something.
It is a mental illness, girl. What are you on?
Well,
It is.
yeah, it's a mental illness, but you're like weaponizing that against them. That's
I'm not weaponizing it. They feel vindicted because they're insecure and they have their own internalized, and you have your own
but like, why
internalized
can we not
stigma.
let them be
Wait.
happy?
You have your own internalized stigma about mental illness, and you're projecting it onto me. If I say a person is mentally ill, that does not mean that I am demonizing them because they are mentally ill. Stating that they are trans people out there with mental illness is not untrue, and therefore I'm not going to be told that I'm dehumanizing them because of it. It is true. Trans people with gender dysphoria are mentally ill.
But why are you nitpicking?
Where is your confusion?
I guess you. Okay, I thought you meant as like, because I heard it like a little metaphor. It just sounded like there was something behind what you said, but
No,
especially
the only thing behind what I said is what you wanted to put behind it. Listen to what
I
I
didn't
say.
say
And
what I just
I'm not a very metaphoric. I don't use figures of speech quite often. I'm very literal with what I say, and my chat cannot. People, am I not very direct? I feel as though I am very, very direct and blunt with what I say. I don't change what I believe to suit other people. I'm very straightforward. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
made it very clear with what I was saying. So I was very clear. I didn't say that trans people did not exist. I did not say that trans people were not human. I also
Yeah,
did
but
not
you're
say that trans
hurting
people don't
them,
exist.
which is a form of
If they
dehumanizing.
are hurt by the truth, then they can go cry.
It's
I don't
not the
care.
truth. I mean,
What have I said? Okay, what have I said that is untrue?
I'm not saying it's necessarily untrue, but it's hurtful.
If it's not true, that's what it means,
Oh
nigga.
wait, no. Probably that when they get bottom surgery, that it's no longer a PP.
It is. I didn't say that. You're lying on me now. I said it was. I said it still is a penis.
No, it isn't. Like
It
if
literally
they
is. It literally is still a penis. That's not a lie. That's the truth.
yeah, it's made up from a penis, but
Right. Okay. You can't make a
yeah,
penis. You
and
can't
then
make a
it
penis.
turns
You
into
can't make a vagina from a penis because the penis and the vagina are not homologous structures. The only part of the vagina that is homologous to the penis is the clitoris. The clitoris and the penis are of the same type of skin tissue, but they're not even structured the same. So
But
no,
okay,
they
but
do
why
not
can we
have
not?
the penis and the vagina are not homologous. So you cannot create. You can by virtue of simply inverting a penis, you do not have a vagina. That is a fundamental denial of science.
So if you saw someone with bottom surgery and they now have a like vagina,
They
how could
don't.
you tell?
That's
How
the
could you
part
tell? You couldn't.
That's the part I'm rejecting. They don't have a vagina. You're presupposing that what you're saying is true, and it's not. They do not have a vagina. That's
They
a
have
fact.
some sort of like subcategory of
It's a
vagina. It's
crevice
not.
made from a penis. It's a gaping
Yeah, but
hole of.
it looks like
It's
vagina,
a gaping
so therefore
hole
it
of
is.
dick
You
tissue.
look
It's dick tissue. It's dick tissue.
okay, but it's a vagina because now it
It
looks.
is an open crevice, a ravine, a canyon of dick tissue. That's what it is.
I'm not saying I'm saying that it's some form of vagina.
You
Okay?
just said, "Oh, you literally have a vagina.
Yeah,
It's not a penis."
it's a sort of
It's not.
vagina.
It's not
I'm
a
not,
sort
I
of.
never said
It's
that oh, it's
not a sort.
biologically a
It's
vagina.
not a sort of vagina, and the only way to have a vagina is biologically because the vagina is a biological part of the human reproductive pathway. So no, you cannot have a vagina non-biologically. They do not have a vagina. It's very, very simple. Do you know what a vagina is?
Yeah.
Tell us what a vagina is.
It's the reproductive system. Oh wait, sorry. This is going back from. Okay, it's the. I don't know. I never like had to. No, wait.
You heard it here
It's the
first, chat.
reproduction
A woman
of
who
a
doesn't
woman.
know
It's
what
the
a woman
reproduction.
who doesn't hold on. You had your chance. A woman who doesn't know what a vagina is and thinks men
I
have
do,
vaginas.
but it's like
Tell us.
I haven't been explaining it. I haven't been like rehearsing in my head. Oh, this
Yeah,
is
tell
what it
us.
is.
You came up and
Well,
said
I
trans
know
women
the
have
gist of
vaginas.
it.
Yeah, give us the gist, and we'll make it adjust.
It's a part of the female reproductive system.
Well, the ovaries are a part of the female reproductive. There's lots of
Yeah,
parts
and
of the
it's
female.
part of it.
So
It's
be
a
more
part.
so be more specific.
It's the entryway to the uterus.
Do trans women have uteruses?
No, but like I said,
Okay, so then they don't
vagina
have
they
a. So
have
hold on.
is
So your hold on. So your own description does not include trans women because they don't gotta have a uterus. You know what? You know where their hole
this
leads
is
to?
what I mean. I don't
Their
want to get
butthole.
technical.
It leads
This
to their
is
asshole. That's where their hole. It's not like their entryway is to their booby hole. That's where their entrance way is to. It's not to a uterus, right? So your very own description of a vagina does not include them.
wait. So you are on logic, right? So what
I
about
am on what?
philosophy? You use logic,
What
right?
a vagina is has nothing to do with philosophy, I
It
don't
is.
believe.
It's through
Un-
the like how people perceive things.
no,
It,
because the
then
vagina is not an or the vagina is not a
maybe it's an
it's not a
interpretation.
it's not a it no it's not it's what are you talking about?
It's an interpretation of a
Your
vagina.
interpretation is wrong. If you think an
It's
inverted
not wrong.
penis,
It's your
if
opinion.
you
It's
think it
subjective.
no,
If I think
it's a the vagina is not subjective. You can have your own subjective interpretation, and your
uh-huh.
interpretation is wrong.
But
The
no, but how can
vagina,
it be
the
wrong if it's
vagina,
my
the
interpretation? If it's not
vagina, the vagina objectively exists whether or not you want to acknowledge it or not. Trans
give
women do
me
not
evidence.
have.
Give me
Okay, hold on.
sources.
Sorry, 1 second. Explain to me. And sorry, do you know how the surgery works?
I have a good gist of it. I know
Tell
how
her.
it
'Cause you said you had a gist of a vagina. You didn't, so I don't even trust the word gist anymore. Describe. Tell me how the surgery works.
what I believe is, you got the penis and then you split it in half and I don't remember, but like it and then you like that's all I know. That's all I
Okay. How does splitting a penis in half make it a vagina? Listen very closely, y'all.
because after the output looks like vagina.
I
And
didn't ask you what
I
I
think
did not ask.
looks
That was not the question. I didn't ask you what it looks like. I asked you what it is.
oh what it is. I mean, if it's made out of penis tissue, then, and if you
Is
ask me
penis
what
tissue
it
and
is,
vagina tissue
what?
is penile tissue and vaginal tissue the same type of tissue? The answer is no.
No,
Okay, so you cannot
no.
make. Okay, so just simply inverting a penis does not make it a vagina.
Why would they do in the first place if it's not a vagina?
Because the big pharma companies want trans people's money. They want their money in exchange for the
How
false
about
belief that
trans
they are
people
the
shouldn't be
opposite sex.
comfortable,
That is what they're
actually?
doing. The big pharma are a bunch of greedy fucks who want to take trans people's money and invert their penises and mutilate their genitals and tell them that they're the opposite sex. That's what they're doing. That's why they do it. The big pharma companies and the gender surgeons are profiting off of the incorrect idea that men have vaginas and women have penises. That is what is happening. And the
Then
trans
why are
people
trans
and the
people
trans
paying
people
for it?
and the trans people walk right into it. Y'all walk right into it and then you walk around getting upset when I tell you the truth. The truth is it's not a vagina. By the way, did you know that every performance or execution of bottom surgery is experimental? Did you know that?
But
So they're
it's quite new. It's
experimenting.
quite new.
They're
Like
experimenting
obviously
on.
would.
They're experimenting on trans people. That sounds way more transphobic than anything I've ever said.
You can say that for
Why are
like
they
a nose job.
experimenting on
They're
trans people's
experimenting
bodies?
nose jobs. Tell me the
Sorry,
difference between a nose job.
Sorry, nose tissue and your nose is mutable. Your sex is not. You cannot compare a rhinoplasty or any other form of cosmetic surgery to the inversion of the male or female genitals. They are experimenting on trans people. That's what they're doing. Okay. I'm
That's
also
just
not particularly. I'm
that's just
also
a
not
blanket
particularly for.
statement, though. You can be
Sorry,
like,
but it's true. Like I don't
what
understand.
is
I'm
what?
stating stop. I'm stating the truth, and you're getting upset at the truth, and then
I'm
saying something is
not.
wrong with me. I am
You're not
stating the
giving
truth.
evidence.
You admitted. Okay. Do you want me to pull up the description?
Yeah,
Because this
I
is
would be
something.
more than happy.
Okay, go. I shouldn't even have to do this because you already know how the surgery works. You can go to any medical organization and look up how penile inversion vaginoplasty works. They're inverting the penis, madam. At the end of the day, the fact of the matter is it's not a vagina. It's not. That's just what it is. If you're going to get upset at that and then start getting triggered at me, I really don't care. The fact of the matter is it's not a vagina. The vagina is the muscular tube leading from the
Then
external
why does it look
genitals.
like a vagina?
Sorry, does fool's gold look like gold?
Yeah, I mean,
Is fool's gold gold?
is fool's gold? It's a type of gold.
Is it?
No, because if you think about it, if it's fool's
I'm
gold,
sorry.
it's not the actual gold, but it's
Rewind. You think fool's gold is a type of gold?
yeah, but it's not the real gold.
Did you eat dirt as a child? Glue, crayons, wood, glass,
I don't know. I just
Tylenol?
Jamaica, they can't come in.
You think fool's gold is a type of gold?
Yeah, but it's not the real gold.
It's not gold if it's not a type of. It cannot be real gold if it's not a type of gold.
It has gold in the name, so it's.
Okay, is a hot dog a dog because the word dog is in the name? Dumbass.
I mean, if you're leading to,
Oh my god!
it's made out of pig.
Is a hot dog a dog, Chad? Is a hot dog a fucking dog? Because it got dog in the name, so it gotta be a dog. Is a hot dog a dog? Is a hot dog a dog? Is a hot dog a dog?
Yeah, because a pig, it's made out of pig, and then
Is a pig a dog?
and then therefore an animal is a dog.
Girl, you fucking slow. Get off my life. I don't know why Athena is in here. Covey, if you're gonna sit in my live and hate watch, you might as well just request. And you were also talking about how I'm dehumanizing trans people. She was the one who brought up trans people's genitals. I was simply explaining it to her. Mind you, this was the woman who screamed at the dean and basically manipulated him emotionally into not crying over a man that was assassinated in public. Covey's a fucking fool. So if you're in here, you can request. But aside from that, I don't know why you're in my live typing in my comment section. I watched this woman go, "You're a white cis-het man, and you're supposed to hate. You can't tell black people how to think." When Dean didn't say any of that to her. And this is the funny thing too, I feel, before we move on to our next guest, I want to say to y'all, the way how y'all flipped on Dean after he cried when a man that he had interacted with on a personal level was assassinated was absolutely crazy. So, Covey, I don't even know how anybody takes your ass seriously. I watched her and everyone in the chat was like, she's right, she's right, she's right. She didn't say anything right. You know what she did? She used the Dean's race against him while sitting up there making thousands of dollars in coins. You know what, man? No, please. Hi, sir. Can I get your age?
Hi, hello. I'm 22.
Do you think trans women are women?
Yes, they are.
Okay, Dino girl is Dino boy, but all right. Go ahead and tell me.
That's very disrespectful.
I literally do not give a shit. Can you tell me what you think a woman is?
Well, gender and sex is different, so therefore you can't really.
Is there a reason you're talking like Kermit the Frog? What's the reason? Oh dear.
Why are you so disrespectful?
Why are you talking like Kermit the Frog?
See, I'm not gonna do this with you because you're very.
You don't have to do anything with me. You can leave if you don't want to be up here.
But like I was saying, gender and sex is different.
Oh, so you are doing this with me, or you're not doing this with me?
I'm saying gender and sex is different.
Gender, okay, that doesn't tell me what a woman is.
Yeah, so a woman is basically someone who identifies as one, and I guess lines up with being feminine and stuff like that.
Are there women who align with being masculine?
No.
Oh, masculine women don't exist?
No, they just act masculine, but.
Oh, what's the difference between acting masculine and being masculine? Oh my god! Can I get Debbie in chat for the $20 on PayPal? She said, "Thank you for standing up for women's rights. We need more men like you." Can I get Debbie? That's DEBBIE. Debbie in chat for the $20 on PayPal. I love you, Debbie. Thank you. Anyways,
do you think that sex and gender is the same thing?
Sorry, that doesn't tell me what a woman is. Can you tell me what a woman is?
I'm asking you a question. Could you just answer, please?
Okay, so it depends on what you mean by gender, and I've explained this before. There's a definition in the common usage sense, no. If by gender you mean masculine and feminine, if you mean it in the sociological and anthropological context, then yes, they are different. But masculine and feminine would be gender in that context, not a woman and man. If by gender you mean woman and man, then no, gender and sex are not different, because the words woman and man are extensions of male and female in the Homo sapien species in addition to adulthood.
But I'm a woman though. Like, I don't understand why you try to take away.
I can't take away something you never had, sir. Sorry. You're not a woman. Are you crying?
No, because it's disrespectful. You come on this and you try to bash Trump. Why are you laughing? That's disrespectful. You're very bigoted. I feel disrespected that I came in here to really.
How?
I came in here to speak about my community, and you calling me Dino boy and all that stuff.
Oh! Can I get W Shayla in chat with $30 on PayPal? She said, please do the Elmo voice. Okay. Okay. Elmo. Since you're coming, I'm gonna be Elmo. Elmo's world. With your Elmo. Okay. So why do you think I'm a bigot? Why do you think I'm a bigot?
See, you're doing it. You're trying to mock me.
No, I'm Elmo. You're Kermit. No, Rocco.
I'm really.
You're Kermit. I'm not mocking. I'm Elmo. Elmo's world.
I was bullied all my life about this same topic.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Rocco.
And you're trying to like make fun of me, and you.
I'm not making fun of you. My person paid money for me to do
Why
Elmo.
do you care about trans women so much?
I'm in Elmo's world. I'm in Elmo's world.
What do we do to you?
Elmo's world. Elmo's world. I have to do Elmo's world. I'm sorry, Elmo.
Like, you don't even know me. How could you tell me I'm a sir?
Did you seriously just say, you don't even know me? How do you know I'm a sir? Girl!
And this is the guy you
Hello? Hello?
These are the people you look up to?
You don't even know me. How do you know I'm a
People who
sir?
bash trans women?
Who is bashing trans? I'm trying to figure. Y'all are giving me mental anguish. I need pain and suffering for this. Thank you, Quintana. Can you love you, Quintana, in chat? Like, you know. Can y'all actually explain to me what I'm doing that's bashing trans women? I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna give you a minute. Chat, we're gonna give you a minute. I want you to genuinely explain to me how what I've done my entire time on TikTok as a TikTok debater that is bashing trans women. I genuinely want to hear. Go ahead.
Because I came up here trying to have a nice conversation with you when you mocked. You said I'm a sir. You call me Dino boy when I want to be my gender and my pronouns are she, her. I don't understand. And you keep laughing. There's nothing funny. And
it is!
No, it is
because
not.
all of
Being
those
very
things
bigoted.
because all of those things are true, and you're getting mad at me for not acknowledging that it's for not saying otherwise.
And I was not crying. I don't know why you keep saying I'm crying. I'm not crying.
What is that? What's going on? You have a butt plug in? Is that straining? Are you like what was the voice for then?
See, and you think it's funny. This is not funny.
No.
You guys are mentally ill.
We are? Oh,
Yes.
baby, you do not want to play that game.
What do you mean this is my natural?
Oh, you do not. Hey. You do not want to play that game with us.
What do you mean? This is my natural.
You do not want to. No.
Have a conversation.
We are mentally ill.
I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm saying I'm a woman because I meet the criteria of women. Not all people meet the criteria of women.
Okay, what are the criteria?
I've been having period cramps almost for the past couple of days.
You think Where's
and
Christy?
No doctor could tell me what was wrong with me.
Christy, no, I'm not even gonna entertain it myself. Where's Christy? No, sir. You do not have period. You do not have period cramps. You have gas. That's what you have. Too much damn Taco Bell. Or them spicy dino nuggets. Your name is Dino Girl. Where is Christy? Can we all share the live to Christy? I have a grown man here saying he has period cramps. We're gonna need Christy.
No doctor could tell me what was wrong with me. I went to the doctor.
You had gas, sir. Gastro.
It was not gas. I had period cramps.
Indigestion. You do not have period cramps. Okay. If you're not trolling, is this person trolling? I hope
you think
trolling.
it's trolling that a woman is coming up here
to be this dumb? To be this dumb? I think so.
You guys are very rude. Calling me a troll, like you think it's really funny. You think I'm crying? You guys, first you were saying I was crying. I was saying I'm trolling. Are you guys stupid? I'm tired of
You do
I
not
am
have.
a woman. You misgender me.
Chat.
You
I'm
keep
gonna
misgendering
entertain.
me.
I'm gonna
I am a
entertain. I'm gonna
non-binary, gender
entertain.
fluid
I'm gonna
woman.
entertain this. I'm gonna entertain this for the sake of the plot. Okay.
Not funny at all. I am a
For
gender
the sake of
fluid,
the, I
non-binary.
agree. It's not funny.
Non-binary.
A grown ass man appropriating the lived experiences of women is very, very not funny. I 100% agree. Wouldn't you agree, chat? Thank you. Up to late. I'm gonna be up to late in chat. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. I would definitely say that a grown man mocking the existence of the lived experiences of women is in fact not funny. So I'm going to explain to you what period cramps are, and we're going to break it down. Can we all type break? We're going to have to do a lot more breaking down nowadays, y'all. So let's break it down. I'm going to break it down like your digestive system does to all your Taco Bell. We're going to break it down, all right? A period is the shedding, a menstrual cycle is the shedding of the lining of the uterus. That's what a period is. Are we clear? Type clear in chat if we understand. Okay. If you don't have a uterus, how are you experiencing menstrual cramps? Cramps from a process that requires you shed the lining of your uterus. How are you experiencing cramps from a menstrual cycle you do not have?
Stop misgendering me, bro. I am a woman, bro. We are Charlie Kirk, bro. We are Charlie Kirk.
Play that right now. Play it. Play it. Can I get your age, please?
Hello there, I'm 32.
Okay, do you disagree with the prompt?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I'm a little bit on the fence.
Okay, go ahead. And what do you agree or disagree with?
I would say that trans women are trans women.
That's a circular statement. You can't say trans women are trans women. That's not describing anything. It's like if I ask you if you think black dogs are dogs and you say black dogs are black dogs. You're not describing anything.
So I would just explain how the ideology is explained like pretty much in the UK. So it differs a lot to what is in America, where people pretty much act and feel, and it's not really substantiated in that much. Whereas in the UK, we have like laws and jurisdiction dating all the way back to the 70s, where people have put robust frameworks and metrics in place to determine what is and isn't trans, right? So when we have the trans identity here in the UK, we have the Gender Recognition Act 2004, where you have somebody. Okay,
sir, you're not really answering my question. You're kind of just talking.
My apologies.
Do you think trans women are women?
I believe they're a subcategory of women. Yes.
Okay, so you think that they're women. So the answer is yes. A subcategory of woman is a woman. Okay, y'all know.
Yeah, with an asterisk. I would say asterisk. Yes.
Okay, all right. So you think trans women are women? Tell me what a woman is. Go ahead.
So it varies. So you do have a woman with the UK, which is now classified as an adult human female, right? That was recently a law that was passed in I believe it was the Supreme Court. And so that is one legal category and definition. Yes.
I didn't ask you for the legal definition. I'm asking you for a definition that refers to people, not how we legislate around people. That's not the question.
But I believe in those legislations.
Okay, but I didn't ask you about the legislations. I asked you about what defines a person. So you wouldn't say, yes. if I asked you to define a black person in the 1800s, you wouldn't say a black person is a slave simply because legally at that time black people were slaves.
Yes.
Right. So I'm not asking you for a legal I'm not asking you what the legal. I listened to my question. I'm not asking you for the legal interpretation of women. I'm asking you to tell me who women are as people, not how not how we legislate around women or how we define women in law.
That's fine. So that would be somebody who is an adult human female, or somebody who is has gone through a transition process and transitioned socially and is accepted around that society as a woman.
That's circular. You can't say a woman is a person who transitions and is socially accepted as a woman. Because you're repeating the word woman. You haven't told us what the word means.
So that would be something. So that could be somebody who was born in the opposite in the
That does
opposite
not.
sex
You're
or
not.
female.
You still haven't told us
And
what the word woman means. The first one is adult human female, but then you said after that a woman can be a
it's
person as well, who
that
goes
would be
through.
somebody.
Listen to
Yes.
what I'm saying and stop
Okay.
interrupting. You're saying that a woman, on the other hand, is a person who transitions to a woman or is socially seen and accepted as a woman. That's not telling us what the word means. You're simply repeating the word itself. So let's put adult human female aside because that does
Right.
not include trans women. Can I get the
Okay.
other definition, please, and make it not be circular because you're not describing anything to me.
I think I've already explained myself.
You
I've
haven't, and I
repeated
just
that.
explained how the definition
Okay.
lacked depth. I
Okay.
just
Well,
explained
let's
this to
agree
you.
to disagree. Can we move on to the next topic? The which was the about the grape
No,
culture.
part of the sexism and the grape culture is you
Yes.
defining them as women. When you define them as women, that is
Yeah.
part of the sexism and the okay, right. So that's why I'm asking you the question that I'm
Okay.
asking you. What is a woman? Because we're talking about sexism towards women and grape culture
Yes.
towards women. I can't have that conversation with you unless you establish to me what a woman is, and that's the purpose of the question. What is a woman? And he's paused. All right. Can I get your age, please?
Hello, I'm 19 years old.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
January 5th, 2006.
Okay. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Yeah, I completely disagree.
Okay, y'all know what to type in chat. Why so?
So first of all, like just listening to you speak to the other person, I do believe trans women are women. And so that means that they would experience sexism as a woman. Perchance it would be different. I believe it would be different, but they still experience sexism. And they do not perpetuate grape culture in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, do you think if a trans woman doesn't disclose that they're trans to a male partner who thinks that they're a woman, is that SA?
Well, that depends on what kind of sexual activity they're partaking in.
In what form of sexual activity would it be acceptable for a person not to disclose their sex?
Well, if you have transitioned medically and you have the parts that said person prefers, then no, I don't believe that is
Trans women
right.
don't have female parts as far
They
as the
can.
genitals are concerned.
You
They can't.
are able to transition medically and get
No, you can't.
sex-
Humans. That's
Can
not
you
true.
please
Humans.
Google? Can you please Google? You can get surgery.
I can Google, but the surgeries, I know what the surgeries are. The surgeries don't accomplish what you think they're accomplishing. That's the point. So what surgeries?
It may not work exactly like it, but visually and also the way they function are very similar. Because
Okay,
you
but
do
it's
penetrate.
not. But they don't. You can penetrate someone's asshole. It does not mean it's a vagina. So no.
Yes, but
it
I'm
being able
saying
to be,
visually,
it's
if
being
you cannot
able
tell
to,
the difference,
it being
if you
able
cannot-
to be penetrated does not make it a vagina. So that doesn't answer my question. right?
So no,
How
I
do-
didn't say that they have a vagina in the way that a biological
what do they
female may.
have? What after the surgeries? What do they have?
They have something that is visually and sensory similar to a vagina.
Okay, but do men want vagina or do straight men want
That
vagina or do
depends
they
on the
want
person.
something?
That
No,
depends on the
straight men do not date the same sex. That's the point.
Well,
so you're missing the
I've
point.
had many straight
So
friends who
yet
have
again-
trans partners.
Okay, then they're not straight.
I'm not going to debate with you on somebody's sexuality.
Then
They
they're
find
well.
themselves as
I'm
their
sorry.
problem.
Well, they're not. Well, you brought it up. They're not straight. If a
they
man is
are.
dating,
They
okay,
are.
give me the rundown.
Because a
Give me
trans
hold on.
woman is a
Give-
woman.
A
Because
trans woman.
is a woman.
Okay, all right. Then we have to start there. What is a woman?
A woman is a social category of
Mm-hmm.
person based on behaviors, based on presentation and expression. That is
Okay,
a woman.
what are the behaviors and expressions that women have that men do not have?
They vary by culture.
So specify a culture.
Okay, I'll start with
Go with
my
United.
culture,
Go
Canadian.
with
I'm
the
Canadian,
United.
so I'll go with a Canadian woman.
Of course, you're from Canada. Of course you are.
Yes, of
All right.
course.
Yeah. Go ahead. Makes
Yep,
sense.
red and white. Okay, so a woman, the Canadian societal kind of agreement would be somebody who calls themselves such.
No, that's
uses-
circular. You can't say what makes a person a woman.
I'm
is
not done.
identifying
I'm not
as a
done.
woman.
There's a list.
I don't care that you're done.
Okay, then object to the first point. Object to the first point and then let me
That's what I'm doing, baby girl. Can you stop?
Okay, well, you can do that in a word. Thank you.
So you can't, yeah. So as I was saying, right, you can't say that a woman is a person who says they are a woman. That's circular. You don't know how circular reasoning works. Right?
Yeah,
It's not
I do.
describing
Because
anything.
actually,
okay, so
saying
you
a woman
can't repeat.
is a woman.
So you can't repeat the word itself in the description. I'm asking
I
you to
want to
tell
know
me.
your debate background.
I'm
'cause your coach
asking.
is to
I
be
want to
fired.
ask you to tell me. I want you to tell me what are the behaviors and expressions that women have in Canada that defines them as women, that distinguishes them categorically from men. That's my question.
Okay, what defines somebody categorically from men is expression,
No,
the way you
behave.
express yourself.
Give
So that
examples
could
of the
include. I'm not
expression.
fucking done speaking. Holy shit!
Can you actually answer the question? Give examples
Can you give me
of the
30 fucking
expression.
seconds?
You don't need 30
Man
fucking
moment.
seconds.
Holy
You
hell.
don't need much.
I
I'm
do
simply
actually. I do actually, because this is very
describe the.
nuanced. Because unfortunately, you don't understand the complexity and nuance of this topic, and that's why you
There
believe
was
you can answer in
nothing.
2
There was
words.
nothing complex about your answer because your answer
Because
was.
I didn't finish it. Because I didn't finish it.
There was nothing complex about your answer because your answer was a woman is a person who says they are one. Ooh. That's what you said, dumbass. So no, there's no
Are you done
complexity
crashing
there.
out?
It's the least complex of all
Are
of
you
them.
done crashing
But go ahead and finish.
Okay, some examples of expressions that women typically have are their clothing, their vocals, the way they present themselves. So that could include the way they speak, what they engage with, the kind of things they engage with, and that is feeling close to femininity is what I would define as a woman.
Are there women who are masculine who feel close to masculinity?
Yes, you can, but they still engage
So
with
then that's
femininity.
not. So then that's
but
not.
they still
So
feel
then
close
that's.
to, because there's a range, because there is a sliding scale. You can land somewhere on there and still feel close to that femininity.
Where is the
and that makes
scale
it-
that? Where is the scale that women fall on that men do not?
That is completely up to the person.
I'm asking you. You're the person I'm asking.
Okay, to me, what does femininity mean to me?
What does feminine mean to you that distinguishes you from every other man out there?
It's the closest I feel to others who are women.
That's circular. You can't say women are people who feel close to women. That doesn't describe
Other
womanhood to me.
women. Other
You,
women.
other,
Other
you haven't
women.
told us what a woman is yet.
I
That's the
just
issue.
said the closest in community makes you a woman.
The
Now I want to
closest-
ask you a question.
The closeness, the
What makes you
closeness
feel
to, the
close?
closeness, the
How do you
close to,
identify
the clo-
racially? How do you
the, clo- the
identify
closeness,
racially?
the closeness.
How do you
sorry,
feel identify
sorry.
racially?
Is there a reason? Is there a reason you're over speaking me on my own live?
Yes, because you're doing it to me.
Okay, well, sorry, it's my live. It doesn't say Dumbass's live. It says Edna Mode's live. So when it's Dumbass's live, you can talk over me, but this isn't your space. It's mine. Listen to what I'm saying. You're not answering my question. I'm asking you for a definition of the word woman that distinguishes them from men. You have not provided that definition. All you did was say a woman was a person who feels close to other women. That does not describe anything.
I'm starting to
equivalent-
realize. I'm
it
starting
is
to
the
realize that I
equivalent-
no longer want to engage with you because you
Bye then.
discuss things in a
Bye
mature
then. Bye.
manner.
Bye. Not your mother. Don't confuse me. You don't want to engage because you're wrong. That's why you don't want to engage. Bye. Can I get your age, please, Tom?
35.
Okay. Do you think trans women are women?
Yesterday, we also spoke yesterday.
Do you
remember or
think
not?
trans women are women, Tom?
No, I just want to talk about some other stuff. I have some questions.
Do you think trans women are women, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Y'all know what to type in chat. What's your question?
My questions are first, bear with me because, as you know, or maybe not, English is not my first language. I'm from Belgium. That's in Europe for all you Americans who don't know what Belgium is. I'm just wondering why you keep perpetuating this stereotypes and your opinions, even though it's your life, like you say a lot of the times. But why do you have to be so bully? Why are you such a bully to everyone?
I'm not a
You
bully
always-
to anybody. I tell you who I'm a bully to. I'm a bully to people who bully women. And the people who bully women are the people who say that men belong in women's spaces and go into women's spaces. No one is bullying anybody. The only
In
people
my
that get bullied, the
opinion-
only people that get bullied by me are the people who are dumb. And I don't like dumb, stupid people, especially women who are a traitor to their own gender. Women are being bullied by men. And they're going into their spaces. So I don't really know why you think I'm being a bully, right? I'm speaking the truth. And like I said, I say it all the time. The only reason people are offended, the only people who are offended by the truth are liars. So if you're offended by what I'm saying and what I'm saying is true, then that's not really my issue, then is it? You're the issue. So I'm not so bully. I'm
I'm not
just speaking the
offended.
truth.
I'm not offended by your opinions or by the truths or facts you so-called say they are. I'm offended by the way you speak to people. You ask them to come in your life and you don't. have
I'm
to
not
speak.
going to have you come in here and tone police me. I don't care. I speak how I want to
Yeah.
speak on my lives. If you don't want to engage with it, don't watch. I have 30.
Okay,
I
yeah.
have 38,000 people who'd rather watch me, so I'm fine. I don't need your opinion. If you don't like the way I engage, don't watch. Anything else?
Yeah. Why are you so invested in this?
I'm invested in this because I see within a particular community an attempt to erase women, and I'm not going to stand for it. And they're
Okay.
using my name to do it. They're using my identity as a bisexual man to do it. They call it the LGBTQ. No. They're erasing women's rights. They're erasing women. I have women in my life who I care about, right? And I'm not going to sit here and allow for men to erase women. I'm not going to do it. Or at least accept a community that erases women and men, especially women and girls and their rights. That's the reason I talk about it, right? Now, the reason I'm having an issue here is that I want to point out the hypocrisy. You guys don't actually care why I care, because if I was sitting on live every day saying trans women were women and I was affirming trans people, you all would not be coming up in here and asking me why I care so much. Y'all would be in here supporting, and y'all would be in here going, yay, slay, you're so cool, you're so this, you're so that. Y'all would not be asking these questions if I agreed with you. So this is the
Yeah,
issue. So you
would
don't
just
you don't
have,
actually care. You don't actually care why I care. You just want to ask that because you don't have anything. You don't actually have an argument against what I'm saying.
but if you would say like what you just said with the yay and stuff, you would just have the other side of the medal talking to you in the live.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's hard for me to
I
get
don't
into
ever
words.
see people on this side of the argument going into pro-trans people's lives and saying, why do they care so much? They don't do that. What they will do is we go up and try to debate them, but they don't want to
So
debate.
so this is not a pro-trans live.
No, this is a pro-reality life.
Do you even believe in trans people, that they exist?
Trans people do exist, absolutely.
Do you have friends or people in your circle that are trans?
Yes.
And if you go out to dinner with them and they have to go to the bathroom, for example, what would you tell them?
I don't tell people what bathroom to use.
What would
I
you
can't.
think
I
if they
can tell
could?
you. I can tell you my opinion on it. If I had a
Yeah.
friend who was a trans man and they went to the men's restroom, I would not agree with it. But I can't stop. I can't physically stop the person.
So if you have a trans friend that is a trans man friend and he has to go to the bathroom, don't you think it would be very uncomfortable for the cis women in the restaurant
We
to
don't call women cis. We don't call women cis here. But
okay,
my
so
trans man friend can go either to a gender neutral space or go to the women's. If they don't want to go to either of those two, I think my opinion is that they should stay out of the men's out of respect for men's spaces. I cannot physically force them to do it though. I'm not going
no,
to. I'm not going to go up to a trans person and force them out of the restroom.
no, that would be very, very rough.
But I have my opinion on it, and my opinion is that men, women, regardless of how they present or look or identify, are women, and they should not be in men's spaces. I think there are
Yeah.
better options and better and more amicable solutions for trans people, which includes gender neutral or single occupancy spaces, which makes women and men maintain the integrity of their single sex spaces whilst also giving trans people a place to go.
Yeah, so why don't you focus your lives on the fact that your government doesn't supply gender neutral bathrooms?
My government? What do you mean, my government? There are gender neutral spaces in Jamaica.
Yeah, in Jamaica, but like either has to be nowhere or everywhere because
It doesn't have to be nowhere or everywhere. We can advocate for it, but in the meanwhile, trans people need to stop violating the spaces of the opposite sex. That's what needs to be established. Just because there aren't facilities right now that accommodate them to the fullest extent does not mean that they get to violate people's boundaries and violate people's consent because they don't feel comfortable where they are. That's what I call trans entitlement. Can we all type it in chat, please? That's what I'm referring. When I talk about trans entitlement, that's what I'm referring to. Where trans people seem to think, especially trans women, that because they can't find where they're supposed to go, because they don't want to go to the men's restroom, they want to go and sit in the women's, and so because there is no gender neutral space or no single occupancy space, women are supposed to accommodate them. The answer is no. They have absolutely no respect for women, and it's so ironic because they're trying to be women. That's the funny part about it. These people have no respect for women, but they want to be them so bad. They want to be the very epitome of womanhood. It is trans entitlement.
The words you use always suggest that you, how do you say it in English? That you put all trans people in the same category.
I did not say that. I said
you
the trans people that do, and I gave an example of the actions. I didn't say all trans people. You are projecting. You're putting words in my mouth.
So we agree that it's not all trans people.
Does it say all trans people on the background? I would never ever say that a full entire 100% group of people do a particular thing. I've never said that.
Then maybe you can put the word some trans.
I'm not going to change my background. The reason I'm not going to change is because y'all need to know how to fucking read.
Okay.
Because what y'all
That's
do
nice.
is, and what pro-trans people do, is y'all will get upset at things that people aren't even saying, and then you accost them and call them a transphobe and a bigot. You don't even understand what I'm saying. At no
Yeah,
point in
you
time did I say
always tell
all.
everyone.
I never said. Hold on. I never said all trans people were doing it, but there are trans people that do, and that's a fact.
Yeah, but you often say the trans community, but that like includes
Members of the
all of them.
community are doing it, and that is true.
Okay, so like some.
Yes.
Yesterday, I told
And in
you.
my experience, most trans women perpetuate sexism, and most trans women I've engaged with perpetuate rape culture. Most of them. Most of the trans women I speak to on the regular do not think they need to disclose that they are trans and sexual partners, and most trans women I've spoken to think that women are socially constructed stereotypes that they can simply perform.
Yeah, I don't know if I had to put myself in their shoes, and I would struggle with all the things trans people struggle with when they grow up, and I eventually reached the point that I am, I don't know if it's a good word to use, but passing as the gender that I want to be passing as or as feel as, then I would just go on apps and looking for love or companionships or intimacy, and then it's hard to put yourself in an even difficult situation
It's
where
not a
you.
difficult situation. It's not a difficult situation to tell the truth. If it's so difficult to disclose what sex you are, don't date.
Come on, that's not fair.
Yes, and this is exactly my problem. You're part of the issue. This is the grape culture I'm talking about.
I've never met a trans person that you can't clock. There's always something that's like.
Oh, so you admit that we can always tell. Okay, all right. I thought that was anti-trans.
I'm not pro or anti-trans. I just want people to be treated.
What
the
are
same
you?
all around. I don't know. I never thought about it. I just feel.
Well, you think trans women are women, so you are pro-trans.
No, I'm pro. Let them be what they want to be.
How about pro letting women have their own spaces? How about that? Sound nice enough to you? Because you this is the other thing too. You guys never ever address how it impacts women. You guys are always prioritizing trans people. Where do women factor into this? Where do women and their right to privacy factor into this? I'm still waiting for a person to come up here. Has anyone all day in the about 4 hours we've been live actually prioritized women in this discussion? And we're talking about sexism and rape culture towards women, by the way, right? Y'all are never ever addressing women. It's always about trans people and where trans people are supposed to go and how trans people feel and how we're supposed to respect trans people. Where the hell is the respect for women? The very blueprint that trans women are trying to follow. Where's the respect for them? I'm asking, it's not rhetorical, it's a serious question. Where is the respect and the concern for them?
I think there are a lot of people who are concerned about women.
You're not, because you didn't mention them once. It was always about where trans people were supposed to go. It was always about where.
I did mention them because I say I care about all people. All people could include trans, non-trans, non-binary, male and female people.
Do you think trans women belong in women's spaces?
Yeah, actually, I do. Like,
you do not care about women.
How can you say that just because
you
I disagree
do not
with you?
You do not care about women if you're okay with men violating their boundaries. You do not care about women. That's not care for women. That's disregard for women.
You live in such a black and white world. It's not black
It's
and white.
not a black. No, but some things are in fact black and white. The fact of the matter is, if you're okay with any male in a woman's space, you are not helping women. You are against women. Because if you understand the sanctity and the reason behind women and their single sex spaces, you would not be saying it. So I'm going to ask you, because a lot of y'all, do you consider yourself a feminist?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So do you understand why women fought for their own restrooms?
They fought for a lot of things. If your restrooms is included in that, it's because they
Why
don't
did women, okay, do you know what a urinary leash is?
I will answer the first
urinary
question.
leash, or a urinary leash was, I should say.
I will answer the first question. They probably fought for separate bedrooms because they don't want to get raped in the bedroom by a guy.
And who are the people, what of the two sexes in society, which sex perpetuates the disproportionate amount of violence and sexual crime towards the female sex?
It's always a man, but it's not all men.
So it's a male. Okay, great.
Yeah.
What sex are trans women?
You mean they're going segment?
Everyone take a wild guess. What sex are trans women?
It's a male, of course. But
Right.
that's
So
why.
then you understand the need for spaces away from all males. We're not just saying trans women don't belong in women's restrooms. It's all males. Okay. Now the only reason trans women get specified here is because trans women, for some strange odd reason, and maybe it's hypocrisy. Actually, as a matter of fact, it is right. Are the only kind of male that women are told something is wrong with them for wanting to exclude from their space. When women say we don't want a straight man in our space, it's fine. When the man is gay or a drag queen or a crossdresser, it's fine. But the moment the man identifies as a woman, oh, it's a whole different thing, and you're being a bigot and a transphobe. It's hypocrisy. It's either all males or no males. You cannot let some males into women's spaces and then exclude some.
Do the trans people in Jamaica get their ID changed at some point when they're
No,
transitioning?
you're not allowed to change sex on your ID markers in Jamaica, and W Jamaica for that. Because no one in any country should be allowed to change their sex markers on their ID. It's fraud.
Okay, is Jamaica a state of the USA? I'm not sure.
No, Jamaica is in the Caribbean.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so technically you ask people to prove you wrong, but you're unable to be proven wrong because you're right.
I know.
And that's what I said yesterday. It's your opinion, but you always state that it's facts.
But it is. You can't prove me wrong.
No, I don't think I can prove you wrong. I'm sure there are other people who can prove you wrong.
Like
but
who?
You don't
You
give them the time
bring them in here.
Yeah, so you can just kick them and they make sense.
My hands
Or you
have
just
not touched.
antagonize them.
I have
You call
never.
them- you
I
call
didn't
them
have to.
bitch,
I didn't
and you
have
call
to
them
drop.
stupid, and you call them dumbass. And
I
then you kick
didn't
them
have
off
to
the line.
drop. Did I have to drop our mute through this entire discussion? Why did I not have to do that? Because you were respectful. You allowed me to talk, and I allowed you to talk.
Yeah, today
The
I'm
only
trying
people, the only people I drop from my box are people who are being disingenuous, or people who are up here trolling or saying slurs or crashing out, and they're not answering anything. So
slurs. You're like practically only say slurs. You.
what slurs did I say?
You call people dumbass, bitch, nigga, all the stuff. You call
I
them every
didn't
word
call
you can
anybody
think of
the
in
N. I
English.
didn't call anybody the N word, as in a derogatory.
You called me the N word yesterday.
Okay. Do you know when a black person says "my nigga"? They're basically saying "my friend" or "my guy." That's what they're saying.
That's not the tone in which you say it. You say it like I'm retarded.
I mean, are you? Does the boot fit?
Of course not. You're
If
only
the
19, my
if the
boy.
boot
Like,
fits,
if the boots fit, if the heel fit,
if the boot fits, I mean,
yeah. If the
who am
boot
I to
fits,
take
I
it off
guess.
your foot? If the boot fits, I can't take it off your foot. I'm sorry. Who am I? Right?
I wonder.
So at the end of the day, if you can't prove me wrong, where are the people who can prove me wrong then? Because I'm waiting for them to come up, but all I really get every day is people calling me a transphobe and a bigot, and I'm still waiting for people to explain how I am those things. My main focus here when it comes to my lives is to highlight that women deserve sex-based rights, and no man has the right to take that away from them, trans-identified or not. That's what I'm trying to establish. I'm trying to establish the integrity of women's spaces, and the trans community doesn't want to respect it. They want superiority. They claim that they just want to live their lives, and they claim that they just want
Of course.
equality, but they don't want equality because equality does not involve the superseding of another group of people and their rights. They're trying to supersede
No.
women's rights, and they're trying to place gender identity over the immutable biological reality of sex, and I'm not for that. Okay, it's very simple. So whether or not
when
you
when the women in the early days, I don't know the dates, but when they fought for equal rights because they were women, they didn't say we want equal rights because we are women. They say we want equal rights because we are people. That's the same as trans people.
Hold
They
on.
don't say we
When
want
you
equal rights because we're trans. They just want
the
equal rights
people
because they are people.
the women who were fighting for their rights were fighting for their rights because they were female. The reason the reason they were oppressed in the first place was because of sex. You said you're a feminist. Have you ever read up on women's or literature surrounding women's sex-based oppression? Do you even know what that is?
No, I have never read up on feminism literature or
So
whatever.
how are
I'm
you
not-
a feminist if you had not read feminist literature?
Because I don't have to complicate things. Feminism. in
You
my
need
words,
to
is
be
just
educated.
equal
If
rights.
you're going to claim to be a feminist, you need to be informed on feminist literature. Have you read it?
No, I just told you I didn't read anything, and I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Are
so you
you
want to,
educated?
so you're basically saying I'm not educated and I don't want to be educated. That's what we call willful ignorance, love.
No,
You're
it's speaking
willfully
from the
ignorant.
heart, not from the mind. It's speaking from the heart.
Well, you can't speak from your heart because your heart can't tell you what to say. Your brain does. You need to read
No,
and educate yourself.
that's a stupid thing to say. You can
It's,
speak from
it's
the
a
heart.
stupid thing to say. I beat from the conundrum that blows heart through my body or pumps heart through my body. That's what's
That's not
dumb
what
to
I mean
say.
with heart. You know what I mean. The emotions you feel within.
These kinds of conversations do not require emotion, they require logic and ration. And if you keep engaging in these conversations, talking just purely from emotion, you're never actually going to address the issue. There are logical things that need to be spoken about here. You need to exercise ration. And the rational belief here, I believe, is that women deserve single sex spaces and women are a sex class in society. They are not defined by social constructs. They are not defined by stereotypes. And men like this on the screen saying that they are women and taking on those stereotypes and using it to say that they are women is highly sexist and highly regressive for women. And until you recognize that, I fear you're not a feminist. You're a men's rights activist hiding behind feminism.
Yeah, if you think so.
That's what you're doing. And I've highlighted exactly how you've done it.
In your case, if you know so.
So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and move on to somebody else. You have a good day. This is a man, by the way. Can I get your age, please?
23.
Yes, sir. Do you think trans women are women?
Of course.
Right. Do you disagree with the prompt?
Of course.
Of course. Okay, what do you disagree with?
Okay, can I ask you one thing?
Sure.
Okay, so how are you gonna use like two of the most fishiest girls in the world?
Okay, we're gonna highlight your misogyny really quickly. Do you know where the term fish comes from in drag
Okay,
culture?
do you understand that you could have
Do you know
literally
where
just
the
used
word?
Lily
Do you know
Tino?
where the word? Do you know where the? Well, there's no difference between them and Latino. Y'all are all men.
That's what you think.
You are all men,
And that's how you feel.
and that's the truth.
That's your truth.
That is the truth.
Well, that's your truth.
The truth. Now, anyways,
But
I'm
that's
gonna
your
talk.
opinion.
I'm gonna talk to. 1 second, please. I'm gonna explain to y'all where. Do y'all know where the word fish comes from? I don't think these trans women who use the term understand how offensive it is. The word fish, love, is used to describe the smell of a woman's vagina in drag culture. Fish. So you're
No.
actually being. Look it up. You're actually being highly offensive to women
Well, I am fish.
because they think yeah, that's the sexism. Y'all read up
Okay.
on it, please. So you understand where the sexism is? You just called two men on the screen
Well, they're
resembling
not
the smell of a
men,
woman's, but they are
so
men. So
do
referring
they
to
look
men
like
in
men?
sorry, yeah, I don't care what they look like. Being a woman
I
or a
mean,
man,
obviously you
being a
don't.
woman and a man are not about looks. And this is the other part. This is the sexism. Y'all see the sexism right there, right? That's the sexism I'm talking about. You think everything is about looks. Everything is a beauty pageant to you all, and that's why I'm
Not
exposing your
really.
sexism. It is because every time I say they are men, the immediate thing you say is, wow, do they look like a man? You're not doing anything. Looks don't make a person a woman or a man. You think they do because to you everything is about presentation and hyperfemininity and
It
hypermasculinity.
is? I
It's
don't
not.
think so.
Okay, what makes you a woman?
I don't think it has anything to do with being feminine or
Okay,
masculine.
so what makes you a
Because
woman?
I'm a woman
So
and doesn't it has
what
nothing to
makes
do
you
with
what makes you one, sir?
I'm trying to answer you.
It's okay, so I don't need you to keep explaining what you don't think makes a person a
Okay,
woman.
so would you
What
like me to
does
answer you or not?
Of course, what makes trans women women?
Okay, and like I'm explaining to you, it has nothing to do with femininity or masculinity.
Didn't ask you what it has nothing to do with. I'm
But
asking
you
what it
brought that
has.
up, so
I'm asking you to tell me what it has everything to do with. What does make you women and not what doesn't make you women? What makes you women?
I am a woman.
What makes you one?
I mean, what do you think makes a woman? That's the
Sorry,
question.
I'm asking. You see how you said you were going to answer me, you're not
I
answering.
know, but you're bringing
What
it up the
makes
fact.
What makes you, sir, a woman?
But I think the real question is
You see how these guys just obfuscate and
But I
deflect
don't
from
I
the
don't think
question?
we can define
You're
what a woman
deflect
is because
exactly, and there is
every
part of the
woman is
problem.
different.
That is my problem. Y'all are claiming to be women, and y'all do not know what a woman is. How pathetic! We can't.
Okay.
Y'all heard it here first from the doll. The doll says. The doll who wants to be
I mean,
a
I'm
woman.
not
By the way,
the doll. Like, I don't
sorry,
know what you're
just stop.
saying.
Sorry, yes, sorry. I forget. You're not a doll. You're a Ken doll, not a Barbie one, right? Now, anyways, as I was saying, right, you are a trans woman. You're a man cosplaying as a woman. You're a man who wants to be a woman, and you're sitting up here, and I ask you what a woman is, and you say you don't think women need to be
That's
defined.
fine.
This is the erasure of women. You don't think the existence of women needs to be
But why do you
defined?
care?
Why do I care about women
Yeah,
and their
no,
ability to
it's
be
not
defined?
caring about women, but
I
why do you
do
care
care.
about?
You can't say I don't care about women. You don't know what
But
a
I
woman
don't think you
is.
do.
You can't say I don't care about women when I know what a woman is and
But
you
how are we
don't.
affecting you?
You're affecting women.
But how?
You're erasing their existence by claiming to
How
be
am I?
them.
How is one
You're
person erasing
you
an existence?
sorry, it doesn't matter how much of you are. It doesn't matter how much percent of the population you are, right? The fact of the matter
Okay.
is you're a male, and as a
Okay, that's
male,
fine
you
if you
have no.
think that.
Sorry, you see how you complain about interruption? I'm answering your questions and you just
Okay,
keep
go ahead.
interrupting every time I go to answer you, right?
Okay.
The point being, you're a male, and as a male, your
Mhm.
existence can never be that of a woman. You're a man, right? I understand
Right.
and sympathize with your experience as far as being
I
trans
don't
is
need you
concerned.
to.
I didn't say that you need me to. I'm telling you that I do, though. I don't care that you. I don't really care that you don't care. Don't care, right? Point being, I
Right.
understand that you're a trans person, but you are not a woman. And you
No,
saying that
I'm
you're.
a woman.
Oh, okay. Tell us what a woman is then.
Me.
That's an example, not a definition. You're slow.
Yeah, and then
I
I'm an
want a def.
example.
I didn't ask you for an example. I asked you for a definition.
But how can we define that? That's the thing.
You can't give an example of something that isn't definable. If you're saying you're
But
an
I don't think we
example,
should even be defining
if you're
it.
saying,
Like,
then
I
okay,
don't know
how do
why
you
you care.
exactly? There's the sexism again. You're erasing women. You're saying women don't need to be defined. Do you think women's rights should exist, Chloe?
Of course.
How can we have women's rights and legislate women's rights if we don't know what they are?
But I don't think you should really care about my existence.
Answer, Mike.
the
That's not my
thing.
question. Do you see how he just keeps deflecting from the question, chat? How are we supposed to legislate women's rights? When you say women's rights, what do you mean by the word woman there?
But I feel like we should have rights for everyone.
Answer my question. When you are referring to women's rights, what do you
I'm
mean by the word
trying
woman?
to.
Answer. What do you mean by the word woman when
But
you're
I don't
referring to
think it's
women's
just
rights?
so clean
All
and
right.
cut,
All
like
right.
a
So he's not answering anything. Moving along. Can I get your age, please, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you are?
I'm 19. I'm a female.
Okay. All right. Do you think trans women are women?
Yes, but I
Y'all
was
know.
gonna
Y'all know what to type in chat.
I was gonna ask why you think what you think about the topic.
I think I explained this before. As far as the sexism is concerned, the person who was here before me was a perfect example of the sexism. It is the utter erasure of women. The statement that women do not need to be defined is sexist. The statement that women don't exist is sexist. The statement that women don't require a definition to describe their existence so that we can legislate socially around them is also sexist. The utilization of stereotypes to say that they are women when they walk around and say that their hair is long and their boobs are perky and they have a BBL and they have all the hyperfeminine traits, therefore they are women, is also sexist. That's part of the reason that they are sexist. Now, as far as the grape culture is concerned, it is very, very simple. Trans people that I've experienced, that I've spoken to, have developed the idea that they don't owe people disclosure in romantic and sexual relationships, and that is wrong. That is taking away people's ability to exercise informed consent. So I'm actually going to ask you a very basic question. Do you think trans women should disclose to their sexual partners that they are trans?
Yes, I think that they should.
Okay, why?
Because when you're dating someone, I feel like they should be able to know I feel like being trans is a very important thing that you would want to know about your partner.
Okay, good. So we agree there. Now, as far as the sexism is concerned, what about that? What about that do you disagree with?
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I didn't understand
As
you.
far as the sexism is concerned, the claim about sexism, what do you disagree with as far as that is concerned?
As far as sexism, I don't really think that I'm sorry, could you repeat what you said about the sexism? I'm really sorry.
It is
I have really bad
sexist
memory.
because they are perpetuating stereotypes. They are attributing their womanhood to stereotypes.
Okay, so you're
Mhm.
saying that they're feeding into sexist stereotypes?
They feed into, perpetuate, and perform the sexist stereotypes,
Okay. Um
and then use it to say that they are women.
okay. I don't think that they're really feeding into
Do you think women are social constructs?
no.
Okay, what is a woman? You said trans woman or woman. Tell me what a woman is.
A woman in my definition?
Mm-hmm.
A woman in my definition is someone who, like, okay, so when you think of yourself as a man, correct?
Yes.
Or, okay. So think like, so for you, your internal body match and your external biological body both match. So you feel like
I don't
you
have an
fit.
internal body map of my sex. I just am my sex.
Okay, so you feel like you fit in your own body,
I
right?
don't feel like I fit in my own body. I am my body.
But
There's no
you're
particular
not.
feeling. There's no particular feeling of alignment. I just am a male. That's a fact I live with.
But you're like comfortable in your own gender,
I don't
correct?
experience any level of comfortability or uncomfortability. There's no comfortability to it. I just am a male. I don't feel comfortable nor uncomfortable in a male body. I just have a male body.
Okay, so in the like I don't really know if I should say definition of a trans woman, but trans women, they do not feel like they fit with their own internal body and external
Well,
biological body.
that's not my question. What is a woman is my question. I didn't ask you what it means to be trans. I know what it means to be trans, but I'm asking
Yeah,
you to tell me what it.
I said what it was.
You didn't tell me what a woman is yet. No, you didn't. You
Oh,
went on talking about people who are trans. I didn't ask you that.
oh,
Your
I'm sorry.
definition just has to encompass trans women because you're saying that they're women. So I'm asking you again, what makes persons women? What is the definition?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer the first time, but a woman is a person whose internal body self map has female neural templates.
Female neurotemplates? What are female neurotemplates?
What I explained earlier, when you feel comfortable in your own gender, or
Female neurotemplates are what parts of the brain are we referring to?
I'm not referring to part of your brain.
How are you not? Do you know what the word neuro means?
Yes.
Neuro means what? Means
It's
brain. Refers to the brain.
yeah.
Right. So you are talking about a part of the brain. What part of the brain are you talking about? And she's on Google. Why do you all insist in coming up here and embarrassing yourselves? And she left. Look at that. Pathetic. Hello.
Hello.
Can I get your age?
I am 27.
Okay. Do you think trans women are women?
Yes, I do.
We've got a chase.
Are you aware of the
Why
Munchausen
are you a
trilemma?
chaser? Why
What do you mean a changer? What the hell is that?
You're a chaser.
What are you talking about?
Why are you a chaser?
You are very good at singing, but you're not really answering
Why
my
can't
question.
you just date a man and say that he's a man? Say that he's a man.
You don't even know who I
He's
prefer
a
to date. This doesn't have
man.
anything
Chat,
to do
what
with the
are
argument.
trans women? They're a man. They're a man.
When you're ready to speak, I'm here.
Just say that it's a man. It's a
Can I speak?
man. Hallelujah. Can I get an amen? What are trans women? They are Yodoshehara. They are men.
A trans woman is a trans woman.
Why? Why are you chasing them so damn bad?
I'm not chasing anyone. I came here to argue about knowledge.
Oh my
about
God.
preferences.
Okay. Tell me what a woman is.
A woman is a person who embodies feminine nature.
Okay. Are there feminine men?
Yes.
Okay. So embedding femininity or feminine nature does not make a person a woman. Are there women
No, it doesn't. Not automatically.
Are there women? Okay, then it's not definitive. So just embodying femininity.
That's
Yeah, embodying femininity. Also, I know people may disagree with this, but femininity is something that we socially create or associate with women. There's nothing natural
Yes.
about it. Being female
it's
is
not
natural.
natural?
Femininity may derive from women, meaning that it is socially something that we associate with the female sex. But I don't think femininity is natural. Being female is natural, but femininity or feminine traits are associated with women. Can we
Okay,
agree, chat?
I'll
I don't know
give
if
you
we
that.
disagree, chat, with that.
I'll give you
I'm
that.
just right? So there's no, I don't know what natural, I'm not really sure I know what natural femininity is. I know what it means to be naturally a woman or naturally female, but not naturally feminine, because feminine ideas in
Well, I didn't
society are
say
something that we
that
create.
natural. I don't believe I used the word that they are naturally embodying. I just
You
said a
said a
person
woman
who
is, you said a woman
embodies.
was a person who embodies natural femininity. That's what you said.
Oh, I see where you're. Okay, I see what you're talking about. Okay, so I should just say without the word natural. So a woman is a person who um, embodies femininity and presents themselves as a woman. But you
Okay, well
know,
the last the last part is circular. You can't say a woman is a person who presents as a woman, and you also still
why
can't say a
not?
woman is a person
Why
who
can't I say that?
because you're just repeating the word. You haven't told us what the word means. It's like saying a child is a person who presents as a child. I don't
Okay.
know what that means. You're not describing anything. You're just repeating the word,
So
right?
in society we have two main genders, right? And I don't know if it's okay for me to say the word sex, but I
You can
get
say the
worried
word
about
sex.
TikTok life.
You can
Okay,
say you can
so
say sex.
sex is a very biological thing. It's affected by the organs and the chromosomes which you have, but it's not binary. There's actually more than just male and female. Some people are born with more than one organ, and that
There
in
are only
itself.
two sex. Okay, there are only two sexes in
Well,
humans.
are you
That's not true.
denying that people are born with two reproductive
No,
organs?
those persons are still either male or female, and it also does not create a third
No, it's
sex.
not. That's not true. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
If someone is
you're
born with,
referring to intersex people. I want you to do me a favor.
yeah,
Name me an intersex condition.
a what? Can you say that again? I didn't catch that.
You brought up intersex people. Name an intersex condition.
Condition? What do you mean? I don't understand what you're
And
asking.
this is where the ignorance is. If you brought up intersex people and didn't know that they have conditions, that there are names for these conditions, you should not be talking about intersex people.
I don't know if that's true. I'm allowed to talk about anything I
You
please.
can't. No, you can't, sir. You're in a debate. You cannot bring it up and not know anything about it. Absolutely not. You
That's
have to know what
not how.
you have to
You
know
know.
what you have to know what you're talking about. You can't just talk about it blindly. You're gonna make yourself look like a dummy.
Yeah, well, you see, we approach debates for different reasons. I came to learn. I didn't come to just start fights
Well,
and make
if you
people
came to
upset.
learn, then I'm going to educate you. All right. Intersex conditions have names and are actually sex specific. Okay. The term that we actually use in modern medical literature is disorder or difference of sexual development. It refers to a whole host of congenital conditions that affect male development and female development. So you can get a male with a disorder or difference of sexual development, or a female with a disorder or difference of sexual development. Okay.
Yes.
So, for example, there's a medical condition, a congenital condition called 46XY pure gold needle dysgenesis. Okay, it only affects the female sex. They are women born without ovaries who have XY karyotype. They are female because their body plan is primarily organized or denotes the capacity to produce large gametes. That's an example. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
either male or female. So there is no
Yes.
more than two sexes in the Homo sapien species. There are
But
two
we're not
sexes.
talking about male or female. We're talking about men and women, and
You
those things are
literally
not the same.
just said that there were more than two sexes. You were talking about sex.
No, I
Did
said
you
it's
or
not
did you
binary. I
did
didn't
you
say
what
there's more
you
than.
said sex was not binary and there's
Yeah,
more than
that's what
just
I said.
you said there was more than just male or female. We were talking about
Yes,
sex.
there's intersex,
That's not true. Intersex is not a third sex.
but it's not male or female explicitly, is it?
Yes, they are, and I just gave you an example.
Explicitly.
Yes,
Really?
it is. They are because the conditions are sex specific. You can get a male with an intersex condition or a
This is
female
just an
with an
issue of
intersex condition.
categorization, I suppose. It's not really.
The issue of categorization comes from you. I am very easily able to categorize them. You just have a misunderstanding of biological sex, hence you are saying what you're saying. You have a
Look,
severe
what
misunderstanding.
you
One
have
second,
written in the
stop.
description.
Stop. You have a severe misunderstanding of biological sex. That is why I asked you to name an intersex condition. You brought up intersex people and you have no clue even what the conditions are called.
Yes, you've mentioned that several times, and I told you that
Okay,
I'm willing
well,
to listen to what you have to
okay,
say.
I've said it several times, but over the several times I've said it, you haven't processed it, not even once. So,
I have,
get
but I want
okay,
to
then
answer, and you're not
okay,
letting
then
me.
you understand. Then you understand that your statement that there are more than two sexes is false. This is proven by two things in biology. There is a
Okay.
concept referred to in biology as gonochorism, and there's also something we call anosogamy. Do you know what anosogamy is?
No, never heard of these words.
I figured so. Anosogamy simply means that we have two distinct reproductive strategies and we have two dissimilar sized gametes. Do you know what gametes are?
Yes.
What are gametes?
Gametes are the things that we produce. Like for males, it's sperm, I guess. And for
Right.
female,
So
okay.
egg and sperm, right? So we only have two reproductive pathways that organize themselves around the production of those gametes, and those gametes are dissimilar or different in size. That's
Yes.
what anorthogamy is. Okay, great. Humans are anorthogamous species, which means that we only have two reproductive pathways and two gametes from which those two gametes and two reproductive pathways from which those gametes originate. That is what anorthogamy means. Now, a second term you
Okay.
need to understand is something we call gonochorism. Do you know what gonochorism is?
No, never heard of it.
Ignorance number two. You're goofy. Gonochorism
I don't
means
know if
that
that
the
makes me goofy. I'm
organisms are
willing to admit
born.
when I
The
don't know
organism,
something.
yeah. But the thing is, you brought up intersex people, and you don't even know what anorthogamy or gonochorism is. If you understood
Fine, now
these
I get
terms,
to learn.
if
Good
you
for me.
understand, well, good for you. But listen, don't walk up into a room and start speaking like you know everything and you don't. Right now,
You
as
haven't
I
let
was
me
saying,
speak.
well, I did let you talk. How do you think I'm responding to the thing?
No,
How do you think I'm responding to the things that you said if you didn't let you talk?
because I'm just giving little like quips at the end, but you're not really letting me speak.
You're saying things that are already fundamentally untrue. You are going to make the distinction between gender and sex, and your understanding of biological sex was already not true. You already had a flawed understanding of biological sex,
Okay.
which is why I had to stop you. Not
But
because I'm
that's
trying
what we're
to,
not. It's not what we're talking about, though. You've
but
written
you
something about.
brought it up. You brought it up.
Yeah, but it's not the only thing I have to say, right? You
Okay,
can let
but we
me say
have to,
my other points.
but we need to address it first.
I gave
Hence,
you
we
this
are
point
bringing
already.
it.
I told you that this. You're right on this part. You're right. I told you this already. I
I
don't know
know that
why.
I'm right, sir. I know that I'm right, but I need to explain
Great.
to you. Okay, so hold on. So, do you agree that there are now that I've explained everything to you, how many sexes are there in humans?
Two.
Okay, great. Now, continue on with what you were saying.
So, I wanted to talk about the fact that when people in society present themselves as male or female, this is something that is constructed by the culture of the place where they live. And some people have never felt like they fit into the male role, nor do they fit into the female role. Or maybe some people just feel like they fit into the opposite one than the reproductive organs that they have on their body. And that means that trans people, this is how they came to be. And I'm not saying that a trans woman, even with the surgery, is exactly the same as a biological woman. It's a completely different thing. But the fact that it's a woman it's still a woman, yeah?
I still need a definition of woman.
A woman, not a female. A woman is a person who presents themselves and takes on the role of a woman in society.
That's circular.
Yes, and the definition is
Definitions
fluid.
definitions that are no the definition. It's not fluid. It's stupid. It's a circular definition. You're not telling us anything. You're just repeating the word. It's like saying a child is a person who takes on the role of a child in society. I have not told you what a child is.
Okay, so let me give you a definition without using the word woman. So,
Beautiful.
a woman is a person who feels that they are not masculine and presents themselves as the opposite of masculine.
Are there masculine women?
Yes.
So then, not feeling masculine does not make you a woman.
My bad.
Woman.
A woman is a person who
No, hold on,
presents
stop. Do
themselves-
y'all see the sexism? My guy went and
How is that
excluded
sexist?
every. No,
How is that sexist?
I'm about to explain it to you. You just excluded women from masculinity. You say women can't be masculine. That's what you just said. You excluded. Are you pro LGBT?
Yes.
How are you pro LGBT when most lesbians are studs and you just excluded a whole group of studs?
Bruh.
Look at that.
I don't have
You
to.
just
Like, I'm just
excluded.
pro people being who they want to be.
You just excluded studs and you said you're pro LGBT. Bullshit.
No, I'm not excluding
Bullshit.
studs. Studs are awesome.
Shut up. We
They're
calling
the
bullshit.
best.
I'm calling bullshit. Bullshit.
Bro, studs are
Your-
they're awesome. I
Your
love
definition.
them.
Okay, so if studs are women, you can't say a woman is a person who doesn't feel masculine. There are women out there who feel masculine.
Okay, look. A woman is a human being that does not feel that they fit into the role of man, and they choose to take
What
on
is the
look,
role of
the-
role of hold on, what stop. I have to finish the definition. I'm sorry. Finish.
So this person chooses to take on the appearance sometimes, maybe just the label
Not
of
sometimes.
what is considered a woman in society. You know,
That's
if those two
circular.
things.
That's circular. No. You see, the reason you spoke so fast at the end is because you knew I was going to interrupt because you know what you're saying was wrong. You can't say a woman is a person who takes on the role of woman. You said this already, and I explained to you that it was circular.
No, I removed the word woman and I said
You
they
didn't.
don't
You
feel
just
like a
said a
man.
woman was a person who plays the role. You said it. What you said it was a person who doesn't fit the role of a man, and
then they
also,
choose to take
and
on
then
the
they
role of
choose to
woman.
take on the role of a woman. So
Because
still
you can also
so
have
you
trans
so
people
you
that are
still
they them and they're
included. So you
nothing.
still included the definition. You still included the word woman. So I was correct. So you're still being circular.
Okay, you
All
know,
right. So
you actually got me.
before I know I did, hon. So really quickly, tell me what the role of a man is that women don't play. Here
No, I
comes
was
the
gonna say you
sexism.
got me because you actually kind of derailed me from the main point I was gonna say as soon as I joined
I
the live.
didn't.
And I can answer
didn't.
your question first.
I didn't derail. I want
No, you
need
did
to-
because I was gonna say something completely different. To be honest with you.
No, hold on, but
But
you're up here. But you said trans women were women, and I want you to defend that
Yeah,
view.
yeah.
All right. So all right. So let's break it down then. You said a woman was a person who doesn't feel or take on the role of a man. What is the role of a man that women do not play that men play?
Well, it depends on the culture.
So
Different. in different
specify.
cultures.
Let's go with the United States. In the United States, what is
Vector,
what
provider.
are there women who protect and provide?
I don't know about protection, but provide for sure.
You don't think? Okay. Do you think a single mother protects her children?
To some extent.
Okay, so being a protector does not make you not being a protector does not mean you're a woman.
Okay, so are you
Do
just
y'all,
saying
do,
that
do
there
y'all
are
I'm
no
sorry,
roles?
for those who are watching who are new here, do y'all understand where the sexism is now? So women cannot be protectors according to this young man.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what you said. You said a woman was a person who doesn't take
I
on the
was
role of a
making a
man.
list.
Hold on, wait.
I am waiting.
You said a woman was a person who doesn't feel the role of a man, and the role of a man is to protect and provide. You're saying
No.
women don't. You're saying women that if you're going to lie,
I was making a list and you interrupted me before it was
you
done.
said okay, and of the list of things you said protect and provide. I asked you if women can protect
That's
and
only some
provide.
of them.
First, you said I don't. It can't. It's not any of it because there are women out there who do those things. It's if a woman could do any of those things, it's already automatically disqualified.
I
from the
didn't
list.
say that the role of a man is exclusive only to men.
Then why did you say a woman was a person who doesn't fit the role of a man?
I didn't say that.
Why are you lying?
Can I just start
Why?
from what I
Hello.
wanted to really
Why are you lying?
But I didn't say those exact
Why
words.
do
is my
you
point.
why do
I
you
said
lie, my
something
friend?
similar.
Why
but
do
it
you
wasn't those
why do
exact
you
words.
lie? Why do you lie?
I'm not lying.
Why did you lie?
I didn't lie. I just
You did.
simply used different words.
Your definition of a woman
put
was
words
a
in my
person.
mouth.
Did you or did you not say that a woman was a person who doesn't fit the role of a man?
I did.
Do not. So then I didn't lie. It's what you said.
Can I say what I actually wanted to
So
say?
what
Because you
are the
actually...
what is the role of a man that women do not play?
Oh, the role of a man that women don't play at all?
Nigga, that was the question from the beginning.
Penetration. With a penis.
That was the question from the y'all are fucking slow. Y'all
Using the male reproductive organ.
If this is not a perfect, y'all Tylenol need to hit me up. I'm getting all the Tylenol babies. Y'all, the Tylenol people need to put this on their advertisements.
Yo.
This is what happens when y'all ingest Tylenol when you're pregnant. This is what happens.
I don't know what my mom
This
did.
is what happens. All the
Listen.
cigarettes. No, hold on. All the cigarette ads, all the alcohol ads. Come to my life and y'all can get your content because all the people who are pregnant with kids who smoke and ingest alcohol, this is what they come out looking like, and this is exactly how they sound.
Perhaps.
Come on, Red Bull, Corona, all of y'all come into my life. I'll give you all the babies with all the fetal alcohol syndrome. See them right here. See one right here.
Could I speak?
See one right here. People are such a waste of time. Go right ahead.
Am I allowed to speak?
Of course you are.
Thanks. So what I wanted to actually say when I joined the live is, are you familiar with the Munchausen trilemma? Have you ever heard about this, the three paradoxes?
I'm sorry, relevance to the
Yeah, it's
question on the
relevant.
board?
It's relevant. It's relevant. It's
No, I'm
about
not familiar.
epistemology.
No,
You're
I'm
not familiar. Okay. So it's basically the idea that we only have three ways to prove knowledge. There's circular reasoning, there's axiomatic statements, and there's infinite regress. And basically the question that I would like to ask you is, what do you know? And what you said you know is that you believe that trans women are sexist and they perpetuate grape culture, right? Now the question is, how do you know?
How do I know? Because I witnessed it.
Yeah, but when you make a rule, when you make a statement like trans women, you've created a very large group, like a sweeping statement. And the
But I
question
already
is, how
made
can you
no.
be
But
so
no,
sure?
that's a straw man. I never said that. I didn't say all trans women. I didn't say all trans
No,
women.
but you said trans women. You
I'm
didn't
saying
say
yeah,
some
but
trans
okay.
women.
Sorry, if I say men are hurting women, does it mean that all men are doing it, or is it implied that I'm talking about the men that do? Okay, that's what I
But
thought.
it's not
So
about
I did not say
implication.
no. Hold on. So I did not say that all trans women were doing it. I'm saying there are trans women out there who do. That's what I'm saying. So
But
you're
why
holding
would
me
someone
to
argue about this?
you
Say
straw
trans
hold
women
on.
do
So you
everything.
straw manned my
No, I
view, and
didn't.
you're asking you straw. Okay, I'm moving on. You straw man the position and then ask a question based on it. You're slow. Why is this person back up in my guest request again? Worth a follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Tell me ones and twos, chat.
Look, I'm not trying to be argumentative. I'm actually being serious about
You
how
didn't
do you know
answer.
this?
I explained to you how I know because I
But
see
that's
it
just
and I
your
witness.
knowledge from your perspective,
Okay,
not real
okay.
life.
How I said that I experience it. I experience trans women perpetuating sexism through watching them perpetuate stereotypes. Sexism simply refers to stereotyping, prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism on the basis of sex. Trans women
Yes.
take stereotypes associated with the female sex and use it to claim womanhood. That is sexist.
Yes.
Thank you, Amber. Period. Can
the
I get
last
W
part.
Amber in chat? Thank you, Amber. I love you. Can I get W Amber in chat? Thank you, love. Right?
Wow.
Mama! Hey!
You
Look at my
did
peeps. Can I get W Amber, W Mama Bear in chat? I love you guys. Can I get W Amber Mama Bear in chat? Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Right. So yet again, that's how I know. Now you're pivoting away from the topic, right?
No,
You
no.
still haven't told us. No, hold on. You still haven't told us what a woman is, and that's relevant to the topic. You haven't told us how trans women are not sexist, and you haven't told me how trans women do not perpetuate gay culture. All you did was come up and ask me how I know. I explained to you how I know, and I would now like for you to explain to me why you think trans women are women, because I'm still waiting for a definition.
Yes, I can tell you, but I just want you to point out yet again that what is it called again? Anecdotal evidence is not the same as peer-based research. Just to point that out. Before
Okay,
I
if a
answer your question.
person says to you, I know I've been raped, how else would you know that outside of their anecdotal experience? Would you say the person does not know they've been raped because it's
No,
only
but
their
that's for that
anecdotal
person.
experience?
But we're not arguing about one person here. We're
No,
talking about
we are talking
entire
about one.
class
No,
of
we're talking.
people.
No, we're talking about my experience with a particular group of people. So yet again, if a person says to you, "I've been raped," would you say they don't know that they've been raped because the only evidence they have for such is anecdotal experience?
No, that's not
Clear-
what I said.
Well, that's what you said. You said anecdotal experience was not sufficient, and I'm saying that clearly cannot be the
No,
case.
well,
There are
my
lots of
exact
there are lots
words
of
were-
instances. There are lots of instances where I can highlight to you anecdotally, or a person can highlight their ability to know something through anecdotal experience.
Yes,
So you're
and
just
what I
you
said
can't
exactly-
reject my answer. You can't reject my answer simply on the basis that it is anecdotal.
I didn't reject your answer. I just want to correct the
You
exact
said
point
you
that
said
I
the
made.
answer. You said the answer was not sufficient because it was anecdotal.
That's not
a
what I
rejection.
said. You see, that's my point. I said
Why do you
anecdotal
keep?
evidence
Okay,
is
I'm
not
sorry.
the
I'm just done. I'm done with him lying. He says something. You tell him he says it, and then he says he didn't say it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm being gaslit. Oh, guys, guess what? My fan account is in the guest requests. The people who keep impersonating me. Just keep my hand on it here.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen me round already, or at least heard of me.
My Discord chat made it clear that you're a fan. Can we get fan in chat for this absolute loser? What's up?
Hey, the human beings denotes being legless.
What?
This is you once said that
You once said, guys, we're on the BBC. You once said, you once said. What's happening here?
Nah, you did. You did.
No, you once said. God, he said it. You once said. Welcome to BBC News. You once said human beings denote being legless. Is that true, Nathan? You once said.
I mean, I can get.
You once said.
Mate.
Right. So if you remember the question that was asked to me, was whether or not a person who had lost their legs and had a prosthetic leg denoted the ability to have legs. I said, no, they don't. because the denotation would have to be natural. The person denotes the lack of legs, not that they have legs. Because a person who doesn't have legs simply doesn't have legs. So do you think that's a gotcha? Like, am I supposed to be offended?
No, I'm just here to take the piss.
People in chat, can a person without legs denote the capacity to produce? Can a person without legs denote?
I mean, they can denote to having it
the capacity to what?
by technicality. They could denote to being bipedal without being bipedal.
Well, I think the denotation has to be natural. That was my only point. They don't denote it because of the prosthetics. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, still, but you still said they denote being legless.
The prosthetic. Okay, so they themselves denote bipedal because they're of the Homo sapien species. However, the prosthetic does not change that denotation. That's what I said in the clip. So anyways, aside from a little gotcha question that your friends told you to come and ask, can I ask why you created a fan account for me? Are you that obsessed?
No, I just did it to take the piss.
You did it to what?
To take the piss.
Take what piss?
Take the piss. You know, like making a joke.
Oh, take the piss. Sorry, sir, your accent's a little bit confusing. Right, so anyways, is that it? Because you didn't take the piss. You have a UTI. There's no piss. Didn't come out. So what now?
I still think it's pretty stupid that you made that statement that human beings denote being legless still.
I didn't say what kind of human being was I talking about, and under what circumstance was I referring to it? You're taking all the context out of the statement. You took all the context out. You took all the context out. What was the question that was asked?
I don't need to state that.
There it is. So Mr. Fat Ass Diabetic Kinder Potato told you to come in here, and he told you because I was on his panel when I said it, and you came up in here. You don't know the context behind the statement, and you don't even know. Go back and figure out what the statement was, and you can come back. Dumbass. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can I get your age?
I am 18.
Okay. Do you think trans women are women?
Yes.
You have a lot of background noise, like an echo. Can you fix it?
I can try.
Okay. All right. What's your date of birth? Oh. We're gonna wait.
My birth is 2007, February 26th.
Okay.
My
All right.
still weird?
What?
Is my audio still weird?
Testing. It's fine now. All right. Go ahead. All right. So tell me what a woman is. Oh, no, the echo has started again. Is your phone resting on a flat? Is your phone resting on a flat surface?
No.
Okay. Testing. Trans women and men. Testing. Trans women have balls. Testing. Okay.
The moderator keeps turning my camera off, so it keeps like getting.
I think that. All right. It's all right. So go ahead and tell me what a woman is. Then go ahead.
Okay, so I think that being a woman isn't biological but cultural. I think it's a construct. It's a social role imposed by the patriarchy, basically, fundamentally. Like, so.
And you're affirming the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean affirming?
Well, you're saying
it's existent. It exists. We can't deny its existence. And it's
what's the role? Yeah, you see what they say. Also, this is the sexism I'm talking about. So, women's existence is contingent on the patriarchy. Y'all heard it here first.
No, it's imposed. It's an imposed role.
Okay, hold on. You think being a woman is a role, or is a woman a person that a role plays? What the fuck? Is a woman a role that a person plays?
A woman is a cultural construct.
Oh, are women people, or are they cultural constructs?
They are it's a cultural construct to be a woman.
Are women people, or are they I want to see if you can hear what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I can hear you right. You're just being a little bit, condescending.
You're being a little bit stupid, so probably why, right? So really quickly, do you think people are cultural concepts?
No, but they can be a construct of the culture.
Oh, funny food! Period. Can I get W funny food in chat for the meteor shower? Thank you, W funny food in chat. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. Right. So yeah, can we get W funny food in chat? Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Right. So really quickly, can people themselves be cultural concepts? Is the question.
I'm trying to say that women are made, not born. So through societal conditioning, that defines them. It doesn't define them by their body or it's their selves. It's not
The
being a
sexism is
woman.
crazy.
It's not
Women are defined by societal conditioning. Are
No,
you
but society
serious?
plays a role in what women in
Okay,
defining what a
what
woman
is the role that women are defined by? That women play, all women
It
play.
all relies on the culture, duh.
Okay, so specify a culture.
Specify a
Let's
culture. We can talk about
let's go with the
talk about many
stop
cultures.
talking over me on my own live. It's getting very annoying. Let's talk about the United States. Is that where you're from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go with a culture you're familiar with. In the United States, what are the social roles in society that define women?
Well, it can be many. It depends where you are, where you live.
We
in the
just specified that we are in the United States.
Well,
Stop
duh, but
stalling
there's
and
different places
answer.
in the United States.
Okay,
You're
so
acting like
specify a
there's
place. So
one
specify a place in the
Well,
United States.
we can
then.
talk. We can talk about like Texas. It can be very traditional in Texas. Women might play the role where they take care of the kids, but that's all societal. That has nothing to do with.
Are
what
there
women
men? Are there men who take care of their children in Texas?
Of course, there are.
Are the men who take care of their children in Texas women?
Are they defining themselves as women? I'm confused. You're kind of.
That wasn't the shift in the goalpost. Your criteria wasn't the person claiming to be a woman. Your
Okay,
criteria
if
is
the
a
man
person.
can-
Can you stop interrupting me?
Goodness, you're very.
Can you stop? Because I start responding to what you're
Ignorance is
saying and
crazy.
immediately you interrupt me. Right? So stop.
Okay.
You said that a woman was a person who plays a particular role. It is a role defined by societal conditioning.
Yes.
In
it can be.
Texas, stop. In
No,
Texas,
I'm gonna
in
respond.
what? I'm not done talking. What are you
Okay, well,
responding
finish.
to?
Well, finish.
This girl is like, this is next
Oh,
level
this
mental
guy.
retardation.
This guy.
So
Don't take Tylenol, guys.
you're a girl. So anyways, as I was saying, right? What are the societal roles in Texas that women play that define them as women, that distinguishes them from men?
Well, what distinguishes them is different, but what can define a woman or what roles women play in Texas could be very traditional. It depends on the home that you're
Are there women who don't conform to traditional roles in
Of
Texas?
course there are. Of
So then
course
that's
there
not.
are.
So it's not what defines them then, because you agree that they can be women independently of those things.
Of course, I never said that, but
Yes, you
But
did.
you're
You said
asking-
women. You
you're
said
asking
women
about
were
the
defined. You
societal-
said
you're
women
asking
were
about the societal
defined. You
roles, and I'm
said
telling you-
women were defined by the roles that they
Yes,
play. That's
I'm
what you
telling
said.
you about
So
the
what are
societal
the
roles
roles?
that
So
make-
what are the roles that women play in Texas that make them women?
I'm telling
That-
you, it depends on if it's a traditional household and they impose those type of societal roles.
Sorry,
where the women
your
are taking
your,
care
your
of the children.
definition cannot. No, your definition must
No, my
encompass all.
definition-
Your
it
definition
depends
must
on-
encompass. I don't know why this lady is over talking me. Hold on. Right, I don't know why you're over speaking me. Right, in Texas, we want you to tell us what the social roles are in Texas that define all women. You can't exclude some women because you agree that there are some women who do not fit traditional norms. Do y'all see the sexism, by the way? Am I making my case? Actually, I'm not even making my
You're
case. These people are you're the one using traditional social roles. You're
trying
the
to
one
make me define-
generalizing.
You're trying to make me define all women, which is generalizing.
Okay, are all the trans women in Texas women?
I say yes.
Okay, are all the quote unquote cis women in Texas women?
Yes.
So you need a definition that includes all of them. There we
I
go.
said that. I said that.
No,
being
you
a woman is-
didn't, because your definition your definition reference no, because your definition reference roles that both men and women can play and some roles that women don't play. So your definition did not include all women in Texas. No, it did not. Give me the role that all women play in Texas that makes them women, that men do not play.
See, I can't generalize all women.
All right, so you don't know.
Yeah, you
Have
don't
a
know
good
what you're
day. Bye. Why is it always the they them's coming after me? There was a huge accident outside my house just now. I heard it. I have to go. Did y'all hear it in the background?